Conan Exiles Age of War Chapter 3 has released, and with this comes a whole bunch of new content. And yes, about a year ago I played this game, but since then a lot has changed. There's a brand new purge system. Bro, they're one-hit wonders, let's go. Oh my god, they won't stop coming. And there's a whole ass new raidable NPC base. Yes, we can raid it. Oh, that worked. We're in. Oh, there he is. Before we start, I just want to let you guys know that if you want to play this game, you can use my link in the description below to download it. And if you use my code AronAztek, you can get 20% off any of your purchases. Welcome to my 100 days in Conan Exiles Age of War Chapter 3. We begin this perilous journey by limbering up our body, and then I go and investigate this glowing tablet. It doesn't really do anything for us except for, just talk to us in a creepy voice. I am then greeted by this. I'm unsure what this is because it wasn't there in the last playthrough. Oh damn, this guy doesn't really look like he's having a good time. He probably won't need this meat though. With nothing else here really to discover, I proceed on and then go pick some fiber from these bushes. Wait, no, that's a lie. I ended up getting in the back of this carriage, realizing that there's a cage there, and that's pretty much all you can kind of see here. It's not that exciting, but I mean, it's new. I then ventured down this desert path, realizing that there's something in the distance, so we should probably head that direction. But once we arrive at these ruins, we are then met by, well, I don't even know what the frick that is. Well, he could have wrecked us. I'm glad it's flying away. That was scary. I then discover another dead man and get a journal. Then a voice starts reading the journal out loud. I'm pretty sure it's mine in game, but I'm not really listening. I'm climbing this ruin because why? There's a person up here. That person had nothing to offer, so down the ruins we go. As we were running, we gained another level. You see, in this game, it's really designed for you to play with other people, and to reduce some of the grind, I've increased a little bit of the XP and a lot of the harvesting rates. And because this is a survival game, I went to go punch a tree and discovered, no, that's not how you gather wood in this game. It's been a while since I've played this, okay? I quickly remembered I needed to craft myself an axe in order to be able to gather wood. And whilst we were at it, I crafted myself a pickaxe as well. If you haven't already noticed, we made it to the main little noob area of this map. And that's where we met Akros the Wanderer. He also teaches us how to clap politely. I guess everybody in this world is quite rude, so I guess it's a nice gesture to learn how to clap politely. With our first set of levels under our belt, I then go and spend some of our attribute points. Initially, I put them into expertise because that'll help us get a little bit of extra carry weight so we can begin this journey easily. And then I go into the knowledge tree because this is how you unlock certain blueprints. And I unlock the skirmisher weapons, which is really handy in the early game. Then I proceed to craft myself some jewel daggers. And because I had some plant fiber lying around, I went ahead and clothed myself because running around naked and buff is probably not appropriate for this place right now. Venturing on forward, we met our first foe, this little crocodile here. I stabbed it in the face, but I'm sure Steve Irwin wasn't very proud of this moment. Now, the reason why the jewel daggers are so good right now is because they add bleed damage to anything that you strike, adding additional damage over time against all of your targets, which means sometimes you could step away and watch crocodiles peel over to their death. Oh yeah, just like that. I walked up this little hill here, turned around and saw that I was being chased by a hyena. And because I'm a little bit of a pussy, I jumped on the side of this mountain and held on for dear life. It's great. In Conan Exiles, you can basically just climb up anything, especially when you're being chased, and eventually they'll just go away. Bye-bye. Whilst cowering for my life, I noticed that there was an iron node just below me. So of course, I had to harvest that because iron's quite rare in this area. I remember in this game, there is so much content to discover and do. So in the name of progression and being able to achieve my goals in this game, I need to set up a base. I had to look on my map and notice that this is pretty central for now. So I began by harvesting some rocks and some trees so I can start setting up my starter base. This place isn't going to be permanent. This is just where we're going to live just to get our bearings. It seems to be a nice, safe location. Well, I thought it was until I heard this. Oh no! There's people close. Oh, can I harvest this really quick? They're hiding in the bushes right now? Oh crap, there's two of them. Alright, you want some of this? Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, whoa, he hits hard. Oh, she hits even harder. So unfortunately, we didn't have a bed, which means we spawned right at the beginning. And you might be wondering, why do I still have all my stuff on me? Basically, one of the settings, and I know it's a little cheesy and makes it a little bit easy, that I left on was the keep inventory setting. The Exiled Lands map is absolutely huge, so I don't want to spend time having to run back and forth to my body. I know I'm already going to die enough, so I'm just not going to do that. Sometimes it might even take me a whole damn day just to retrieve all the goods from my dead body. Safely back at our base, I then proceed to make some walls to try and keep ourselves defended, especially from those rogue bandits that were nearby, and started to place a roof on it because there are sandstorms that do happen, and this is the only way to stay protected and safe from them. I didn't finish it immediately because we ran out of materials. Day 2, and I thought it might have been a good idea to place a bed inside this base that we've built here. That way we can respawn here instead of having to run all that way back again. I then went over to go clear out some of the vermin that inhabited this little island of ours. I now had a place to respawn, so I figured maybe this might work. And these daggers are pretty OP early game as well. So defeating 3 enemies at once was quite easy. Holy crap, is his whole body cut in half? I then continued harvesting some resources because I realized I hadn't fully sealed in this base just yet. Now that our base is fully sealed off, it's time that we start filling this place out a little bit. We started with this large campfire that I placed straight in the middle of our base. I then added a furnace so we could start smelting some iron, and then this tanner's table so we could start tanning some leathers. The one thing about Conan Exiles, it's very crafting station heavy, which means you need a lot of crafting stations just to do simple tasks. Wanting to progress a little bit further, I went back out to go collect some iron. All this stone stuff isn't really going to cut it for now. I then went and tested my skills against these hyenas. Stop! Yes, it's time for me to tell you about a new game. This is Honkai Star Rail, a free-to-play epic space fantasy RPG made by the same creators of Genshin Impact. You can play this either on mobile or PC. And the best part is, the game data transfers between both. So no, you don't have to worry about starting new accounts on different devices. It's just all in one. In Honkai Star Rail, you travel through the universe finding unique treasures, solving various puzzles, and learn the deep lore that this universe has to offer. Build your team with over 20 playable characters with unique personalities and backstories. One of my favorite features of this game is the reimagined tactical combat system. I mean, you can literally build your entire team to suit your own playstyle. And each character comes with a crazy visual effect for each attack. Like this lady here, Ruan Mei. Ruan is an elegant, beautiful biologist capable of increasing ally skills. She likes to dress in an Eastern attire, and her personality is mysterious and full of contradictions. Ruan is an ice type character that leans towards more of a support role in your entire party. Then there's the handsome doctor, Dr. Ratio. Yeah, that's his name. He is a gracious and poised character that is considered a genius worldwide. He can be a little eccentric at times and is often a bit harsh with some of his comments. Dr. Ratio uses imaginary type attacks when he's fighting his foes and possesses powerful follow-up attacks. Version 1.6 just dropped, and you'll head over to the space station to assist Ruan Mei in solving an issue. Version 1.6 also comes with a brand new map that you can explore called the Seclusion Zone. Also, at long last, the highly sought after Stellaron hunters return, Blade and Kafka. And yes, of course, I also have some goodies for you. 10 free pools. Yes, all you have to do is log in for 7 days and you will receive for free 10 free Star Rail special passes. So log into Honkai Star Rail from the 17th of January and you can receive 1 copy of the 5-star character, Dr. Ratio. This will literally be the first time that Honkai Star Rail has given away a limited edition 5-star character. So go ahead, use my link in the description below and download this game right now. And go ahead and use my redemption code, which is all down below, so you can receive 50 Stellar Jade. So hurry up, head on into game and get your claim. Thank you Honkai Star Rail for sponsoring this video. I soon realized I was no match, so I started to run away. I once again climbed this mountain so I could escape, but once one hyena ran away, I jumped down thinking I could just easily defeat one. Its friend came back and killed me. Well, yeah, that was unfortunate. Respawning after my death, I went on a little hunt for some iron. Returning from farming some iron, I went ahead and placed myself a blacksmith's bench. With this, I can now craft all the iron tools that I need, and a pretty decent weapon too. The iron that I had gathered already is still cooking up in the furnace, so we haven't been able to make any tools just yet. But whilst we wait, I was going to head over to this location. It's called Shaman's Rise, and it's here that you meet this rather odd named NPC, Nunu the Cannibal. He teaches us a new emote and also the Yog religion.
You are lost, seeking guidance, yes?
Of course I'm freaking lost. We're stuck in a freaking desert with a random bracelet on my hand that doesn't allow me to leave. In hopes to be able to find myself, I went out and did a little bit more exploring near where we were. And then I was attacked by these little creatures that resemble my little sister. Holy crap, what are the freaking these ugly little things? Seems as though they were stopping me from entering the Cave of the Fiends. Moving on, I did know that there's a few things that we can gather around here. Like this journal that teaches us the submissive emote, a whole bunch of iron that we can gather from the side of this mountain, and we can interact with this blue glowing tablet. I don't really know what it does, but if you know what it does, just let me know in the comments below. Now I'm back at my base, staring at a fire. Yes, thrilling. But we're really waiting for this iron to cook up so we can go ahead and craft our first iron tool, the iron pickaxe. The following day, I was really excited to go test out my brand new pickaxe, but I had to go murder some desert mutts before I could get to the iron. Oh, look at all that iron. Oh, this is just such a satisfying moment. And for some reason, because I had a brand new pickaxe, I must have felt something like confident or something. So I ventured further than I ever have before. Damn, this is a cool ass view, kinda. Well, it's kind of foggy, but it's still cool. On this little adventure, I was attacked by a couple hyenas. I got hit as I was trying to make my way down this mountain to escape. On my way down there, guess what? I was met by another pack of hyenas. Oh man, I'm just gonna have to go for it. Jump! Run! Get away! I can do this. I think we're sweet. Yeah, we're good. No, we're not. I can hear him. Run! Oh my god. How are they not catching me? Oh, there he is! Come on, man. Give up. Just give up. Leave me, my iron, and my new pickaxe alone. We then made it to every creature on this game's worst enemy, water. Yeah, for some reason, no creature can travel through water, so that's like your safest place in this entire game. We have now gathered enough iron for us to be able to craft our next item. And with all the dangers in this world, I think this sword's going to be the one that comes in clutch. Yeah, this sword is from one of the DLCs that you can buy. I'm a little unsure if it's a little bit pay to winish, but I don't know, we'll test it out and see how it is. But it's a damn samurai sword. Now it's time to go test out my samurai skills on a mutant ninja turtle. Yeah, take that, Donatello. Yeah, stab. Oh, what the frick? Where did it go? Oh, crap. That's a big boy. Oh. Not so tough now, are you? Are you? These are my samurai skills. You're dead. Successfully killed a mutant ninja turtle. Now on to killing, well, just a normal crocodile. And there we go. Now we have our very own ethically sourced Gucci bag. After all the fun in the wilds, it's time to come back to base and craft ourselves up an axe. Oh yeah, this harvest wood so much better. Although this base location is fine and dandy for now, it's not really great for the mid to end game. It's now time for us to move base locations. But like I mentioned earlier, this map is so damn big, trying to find a new base location might take us some time. As you can see in the distance there's a lot going on in this map. At this point of the game, I had no idea where I wanted to set up our base completely. I wasn't sure if I wanted to live in the desert or if I wanted to live in a different biome that I've never lived in before. I did find a coal node along the way though, and I wanted to collect this knowing that it's a great way to fuel your furnace later on. And of course, iron. I had to collect iron. Iron is one of the resources in this game that you can't get enough of. Later on, you use it as a resource to be able to craft steel, and you need a crazy amount of it just to craft it. But it was then that I was attacked by the craziest creature I've ever seen in my life. It's like a dog made out of stones. This is called a Rocknose. They're relatively weak, but they do have armor, making my attacks a little bit weaker against them. Then along our travels, we spotted this thing right here. This is one of the new features in the Age of War Chapter 3. Essentially, it's a castle filled with NPCs, but you can raid the base essentially like it was PvP, and it's got some amazing loot in it. But we are nowhere near ready to go and attack that yet. We will in the future though. I end up finding myself in this place. It's called the Shattered Basin. This borders the desert all the way into the highlands, and has different mob types, like this big ass boar. Yeah boy, we're eating bacon tonight. Oh my god. There's also wolves that come and stomp you out of nowhere. They're really scary and super tough. Should we really be in this area at this low level? No, but we're trying to find a new home, and this is what has to happen. In this playthrough, I'm using Hosav's UI settings mod. You can adjust it in a bunch of different ways, but you've probably noticed in the top left hand corner, my health bar and stamina bar is quite different, and now I have a mini map on the top right hand side. But one of the features that I really do enjoy about it is that when you're fighting something, you can see the damage numbers when you hit it. Moving on, in my mind, I really wanted to build here in the highlands, but I hate the fact that it rains so much. I took a peek over at this desert, and it looks quite nice for a desert. So I scaled down this cliff to go and investigate. You see, the thing is, I really want a big open space. Not only do I need a really big base because there's crazy amount of crafting tables, I also need a big space so I can have my treasure room, and a big enough space that the purgers can build their little raid base, or FOB, whatever you want to call it, and come and raid me. If you build in a space that's too small, the purgers don't work. But yeah, let me demonstrate the attack thing. See there? I did 18 damage per hit. This oasis could be a good place to build a base, but no, I don't choose this area. In the end, I head back to the highlands and find this area. It seems to not be raining. I don't know whether it's because it's so close to the desert, or maybe it's just something that's specific to this area, but I think I'm going to call this place home for the rest of our playthrough. From previous experiences playing on this game, I do know that this side of the map is kind of where you spend a lot of the time anyway. But first things first, before we can start building this base, we need to grind out some materials. This is going to be a little bit of a slow grind, but we're going to place our first foundations right here. It's probably a good idea to place down this storage box so we can get rid of some of the gear that we carried all the way from our original base. And yes, I expect that this base is going to be quite the big one, which means we're basically going to have to harvest a ton of stone and a whole bunch of wood just to get this base started. Once I was harvesting all these resources, I realized I was starting to get really thirsty and was probably gonna die soon. I checked my map and realized that there was a lake just down the ways. It rained so much in this area that I didn't think that I had to worry about my thirst so much, but I guess that's not a mechanic in this game. We made it to the lake finally, just in time for us to take a couple sips of water. This is quite the journey just to drink some water, so we're gonna have to find a solution a little bit later. But in better news, we can start building our base because we have enough resources. Well, we can only build this much so far because yeah, we ran out of resources already. To say that this is going to be quite the grind to be able to get this base going is putting it lightly, but I can assure you it will be done and eventually it will be great. Day 6, I farmed up enough resources to start putting some walls up around this base. This whole base is going to be a work in progress over this entire 100 days. This side room here is going to be our crafting room with all of our crafting benches, and our first crafting thingy is going to be this furnace. Have I mentioned how many damn resources we're going to have to collect just to be able to build this whole damn project? It's a lot of resources we're going to need for this. I then placed down this tanner's table for all of our leather needs. Then a blacksmith's bench, of course, that crafts all of our tools and weapons, and an artisan's table that crafts all of our furniture and decorations that we can make our base look kind of fancy. Outside, I placed down one of our most favorite things, the animal pen. Obviously, being mainly an Ark player, I love taming creatures. So this is what you use to be able to tame creatures. I can't forget that we're going to need this carpenter's bench and an armorer's bench. Then the casting table. It's similar to a casting couch, but a table. But this is what our base looks like so far. Like I said, it's a work in progress. We're going to make a lot of changes over this entire 100 days. Dude, I almost forgot to place a bed down. Imagine if I didn't have a bed. We died. We had to come all the way back here. Oh my gosh. Day 7, I introduced myself to the locals of this area. They were so kind to me that they gave me some raw pork, some savory meat, and some hide. Realizing once again, I need some water. Man's getting thirsty out here. So once again, I ran back over to the lake and got a couple sips of water. But then I realized there's actually some people up here. They're not so friendly. And I'm pretty sure that they'll kick my ass, so we ran away. We now just hit level 20, and level 20 is kind of a milestone in this game. It means we can unlock a bunch of craftable items, notably the tavern building and the treasure coffer, both brand new items only added in the Age of War chapter 3. I'll explain more of what they do once we start building them, but first we need to satiate our hunger by crafting this another large campfire. We then craft this tannery so we can obviously start tanning some leathers, but then we need to go and ask our neighbors if they can loan us some leather. They graciously accepted, of course. I saw this big warthog from a distance, and I thought it was kind of strange that it was so damn big. Once I got close, it had a skull above his head and realized this is a semi kind of little boss. He's pretty strong and we're only doing little bits of damage to him, but he's hella slow, so he was pretty much a pretty easy kill. He gives pretty decent experience points as well, and he's so close to our base. We're gonna farm the hell out of him for experience points for sure. What is this little thing? Oh, that's a little baby boar. Yes, we're gonna get our first proper tame. With the baby boar properly kidnapped, I brought it back to our animal pen, chucked it in there, and fed it some plant fiber so it could grow up nice and strong. With all the leather that we just collected from our neighbors here, I was able to make us some new armor, finally. This here is the medium armor. Not only do we no longer look like a peasant, we actually look like we belong in this world. Day 8, I woke up to some weird weather conditions, so I went out to go and investigate. Turns out there's a sandstorm in the distance. I'm assuming because we're in the highlands area, we don't actually get hit by the sandstorms, but it's still kind of cool to look at. It's time for us to go out and do some exploring. But really, I'm on my hunt for a horse. I know there's a bunch of places around the map that they spawn, but from previous experiences of playing this game, I only know of one area myself. So I quickly placed down a campfire and started cooking up some meat that I'd gathered along the way. With a full stomach, it was on our way back to going to find a horse, and that's when I spotted this little beauty. So I kidnapped it. This is the swift fowl. Further exploring, I found another one, and 2 is always better than 1. This one's the sturdy fowl. I honestly don't know what the difference is. I'm assuming one's fast and one's strong. I can't confirm they're freaking heavy though, so I had to get rid of some of the things that we had collected just to make their weight kind of distribute better. Then I had to make this trek all the way back home. Except on our way back, I was then confronted by this sight. Bro, is that bears? Is that a whole bunch of bears? Oh my gosh. Oh, there's baby bears. Ooh, we definitely gonna get ourselves a bear friend eventually. Oh, crap, I can hear him. Oh, he's on my tail. Run, get away. Oh, climb. Oh, he hit us. No. Run! Scared for my life, I employed my favorite strategy. Climb the side of a mountain. There was one major issue. I only had 4 stamina left, and I didn't think I could climb over this mountain. So instead I fell and tried to make a clear run for it. We made it back to our base safe and sound. Now I need to turn these baby foals into big grown horses. And the only way to do that in this game is to create these stables. They work similar to the animal pens, only they're specifically used for horses. So I placed 2 of them right down next to my animal pen so we can grow up both of the horses that I had captured. In order for us to be able to tame these creatures or any creatures in this game, you need to place said creature in the taming pen or stables in this case and add the food that they prefer to eat. In this case, plant fiber works just fine. And now our boar is fully grown up. He'll be a great defender of our base. So I placed him down in this world and then I named it Pumbaa. As we're going through all of this, I got this message come up on screen, which leaves me no choice but to go out and murder absolutely everything around this area. Day 9 and our horses were fully grown up. I left them to chill out in the stables for a little bit because I don't have a saddle for them right now and it's kind of pointless to bring him out. So I think it's probably a good idea to get a saddler's work table ready. Only thing is, I don't have all the materials required to make it just yet, as you need a bunch of shaped wood that you can only make in the carpenter's table. Now that I have enough materials for it, I placed it down in my little crafting area room and went to craft myself some warhorse saddle, but I don't have just enough leather just yet. So once again, went out to go ask my neighbors if I could borrow some leather. Yeah, I'm gonna go kill this guy too. Maybe we'll get some more XP. and a bunch of leather. We now had enough materials that we could craft this saddle. So I pulled this spotted horse out of the stables, whacked the saddle straight on its back, and took off riding. Oh yeah, this is going to be so much better to get around this map. Oh my gosh. So far, we've got a brand new set of armor, a decent weapon, and a horse. Our progression is starting to come along quite nicely. So I decided to go and revisit these guys down by the lake. Again, they're not that friendly, so it's time to get my stabby on. Except they're pretty damn strong, so we had to make a quick escape. I decided to head back to the desert area, knowing that we're not really that high of a level and don't have the best gear right now. It was probably better to deal with some mobs that I could fight. As we were riding though, I did remember I need to keep this horse fed. Feeding your creatures that you tame and your thralls is a way that makes them level up in different ways. There are stats in different areas, but I'll show you a better example later on when we're dealing with thralls. For now though, we went back to Noob River so we could go and beat up some of the people that beat us up earlier, like these wannabe dogs. I also wanted to go stop by and say hello to some of the Ninja Turtles around here. Noticed that there was a baby there, so I yoinked it. Babies and stuff are quite heavy, which is another reason why I wanted this horse, because anything that follows you can then carry a certain amount of items and the weight doesn't affect them, just the inventory slots. I really wanted me some hyena puppies, so after unaliving some parents, I went and kidnapped 2 of these orphans. Come back here, come back here. Oh my gosh, they're freaking fast for little things. Where the hell are you running to? Come back here. Trust me, I'll give you a much better life than your parents ever could. Dude, these guys run for freaking days. Come back. I got you. Come here. Yes. Oh my gosh. That was painful. Since I was way down, I put these puppies straight into my horse so we could continue on. It's now day 10, so I decided we're going to head on into this cave that's just alongside Noob River. This is where I discovered some brimstone. Brimstone is a great resource as you need it to be able to craft steel later on for some much better weapons and tools. It's pretty satisfying coming back here much stronger. I'm absolutely destroying these guys. I almost feel like a bully. They're just here minding their own business and I come in here and stab them in the throat. Like, are they really the bad guys in this situation? Or is it me? I don't really care though. They have something I want. Well, I hope they have something I want because usually there's pretty decent loot in some of these caves. And sometimes you can find a named thrall here that you can knock out and enslave. Once I had killed everybody in this cave and basically completed it, I went to go and investigate to see if there was any decent loot in some containers. In my last 100 days, I had looked around here and there was pretty decent loot, but it seems like in the recent updates, there's nothing here. This cave run kind of sucked, but at least we got brimstone out of it. Okay, all the fun down at Noob River is complete. It's time for us to head back to base and start enjoying some of our spoils. I arrived back at base, placed my horse down in this position, began emptying my inventory in all the respective crafting benches, placed the hyenas and the shale back into the animal pen, but I didn't have the right food for my hyenas to grow up just yet. My little ninja turtle would just eat the plant fibers, so that's fine. The hyenas were fine eating this feral flesh though. Kind of gross, but I suppose they're little gross dogs anyway. I then spent the remainder of this day harvesting a bunch of resources, mainly wood and iron. Like I mentioned earlier, it's gonna be such a grind. We need a crazy amount of resources to progress in this game. Day 11, I came to the realization that this crafting room isn't quite big enough for all of our needs. So of course, I had to extend this place. I'm hoping 3 extra squares across is going to be enough room. If not, I suppose we could always build up, or I don't know, we'll figure it out later. Now with this extra space, I started rearranging some of my crafting tables and then added in this alchemist bench, which allows us to craft potions and healing wraps and, well, really this thing that I'm after, Yamatai fodder. You might be thinking, Aaron, what does Yamatai fodder do? Well, if you've got a fully grown hyena or a bunch of other creatures, you mix the hyena with the Yamatai fodder and you get this devilish hound. Both of these demon hyenas are going to guard our steps and the entrance to our base. I named this one Natalia and this one Sophia. I'm unsure if they have genders in this game, so we're just going to assume that they're females. This horse is going to stay in our life for a very long time, so it's probably time to name it. I named it Thunder Jack, after one of the racehorses that I bet on and always win with. Can we just appreciate how cool this freaking hyena looks? It's probably a good time to solve our water issues, and I believe this well will do exactly that. These hyenas and everything come from a DLC that's added to the game. I also wanted to experiment with a different type of weapon. I noticed that there was 3 different types of katanas in this DLC. The one thing that I find frustrating about this game is that they don't actually tell you what some of the things do or what stats you can gain from them. So you got to craft them and just find out later. Oh, this is an agility weapon. Yes, so this is an agility weapon. And in this playthrough, we're going for a strength type build. I don't really want an agility weapon at this point, so we made this Yamatai Naginata. And it is in fact a strength weapon. Best place to go test this bad boy out is on the big fat boar over here. It is indeed better than our katana, but it feels a little bit weird to play with. But it does deal bleed damage as well as cripple damage as well. Earlier on, I crafted this fireball cauldron that allows us to craft alchemic base, dragon powder, steel fire, and another thing that we'll find out what it does later. I wanted to make my hyenas a little bit stronger. After all, these cool little things are really cool looking, but they're kind of weak. The best way to make them stronger is to go out and attack some of the neighbors. Boars are some easy prey, but we want to get a lot of levels quickly. And wolves are easily the best way to get levels in the close vicinity of our base. But this was a huge mistake. No, Natalia was killed. Oh, man. And unfortunately, Natalia died. Day 12, I decided to make ourselves a clan. Not that I'm going to be playing with anybody else. I needed it to be able to craft a certain bench. And I decided on a really creative clan name. We called it Please Subscribe. Yeah, shameless plug. But yeah, if you can subscribe, I'll be very grateful. And this is the bench that I mentioned. You can then go ahead and customize your clan emblem. Unfortunately, a lot of the emblems that I kind of liked were all locked. So we decided to go with this emblem. It's kind of ass, but you know, it's all we've got. The next one of the many crafting benches that I placed down was the Tinkerer's bench. And in this bench, you craft up tools and stuff that can help increase your armor value, your weapon damage, or even repair some of your items. But enough of just hanging around base, it's time to go out and do some more exploration. I noticed that there were some towers just up the ways and up this mountain near us. And towers like this usually mean that there's some people there. Hopefully they're friendly. Oh crap, I'm stuck. I'm stuck inside this horse's stomach. Well, this is probably the definition of being stuck between a rock and a hard place. Oh, and these people weren't friendly. Like at all. We got jumped by all of them all at once. I got my health really, really low and just quickly bolted out of there as quick as I possibly could. Drink, drink, drink. We got to escape. Oh my god, they're still following us. Oh my god. Go, 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 go. Dude, go away. Look, we cool here. Okay. Stabby, stab. Oh, ready, run, dodge. Come on, Thunderjack. We got to get out of here, son. Day 13, we left our base to go out on another big adventure. I wanted to go visit an old place that I remember from my last 100 days. We just have to travel through some new undiscovered lands. And also, on the way, I wanted to stop at this thing. This is an obelisk. We can attune our bracelet that we can later on use to teleport here. It also gives you corruption, which then lowers your health and stamina. But I have seen on some YouTube videos that there is an advantage to corruption. I just never used it in this playthrough. But we were heading here to the Oasis of Nekhet. Most Conan Exile players know this area as it is a very popular area to build. It's relatively easy to get to in the early game and gives you easy access to a lot of things that you're going to need through this entire playthrough. I went to go and fight this overgrown insect. I was pretty confident in my abilities, but this thing still was very strong. I wanted to continue on fighting, so I placed down this bedroll just in case we died, because I wanted to fight this thing. This overgrown cockroach is the queen boss bug. With over 4,000 health, our 23 damage wasn't really doing much to help. I knew I wasn't going to really win this fight, so I made a massive run for it. Instead, I went over to this area where there's some rhinos, and there was a cute little baby rhino, so I yoinked it, stabbed it, stat in the face, quickly realized this was a fight I wasn't going to win, and ran away like the true coward that I am. We then made our way over to the Mounds of the Dead. This is a little bit north of where we were, but it's a totally different biome. This place also holds a thrall that I really want to capture eventually. But first, we have to attune our bracelet. Day 14, on our way back to base, I realized that there was a few bear cubs hanging around. This was an opportunity to get a big, strong creature on our side. Why do all the things run away from me? Why can't I pick this thing up? Bro, get in my inventory. Surely you're small enough to fit in my pocket. I then made it back to base, nice and safe, and emptied out all my pockets. I came back with a bunch of yellow flowers. They make this yellow lotus potion. It says it causes hallucinations and visions. I don't know why anyone would drink this. I did though gather a bunch of aloe vera on my travels, so we could turn that into some health potions. But more importantly, we have a little rhino baby that needs to grow up nice and strong. Can't forget about that bear cub that we grabbed along the way too. Whilst our new friends grow up in the animal pen, I just went AFK for a bit. I went back to go check on these guys and realized that the bear cub's not growing up because we don't have the right food for it to be able to eat and grow up. As far as I know, they require honey to be able to grow up. And because I chose the Dakota religion on when I spawned in, I can use this in order to be able to craft honey. What the heck is Silver of the Unfulfilled? That's right, I need the Dakota's, this stabby thing to go and kill some humans, and then I can craft it. We've now cooked up enough steel to be able to enter the steel age, and now we have a steel pick. This should help us harvest resources at a greater rate. Now we can't have a steel pickaxe without a steel hatchet. Now that we're going to be smelting a ton of iron and steel and brick and all the kind of stuff that you put into the furnace, I went ahead and crafted this improved furnace, and these tend to craft things at a faster rate. Day 15 and we're now level 32, which means we can start crafting up some steel weapons, and I really favor these two-handed weapons, like this two-handed steel great axe. This new axe should be a massive jump in damage against some of our foes. So I went to the desert area because I know some of these humans are weaker, to kill them with my brand new axe and harvest that silver of the unfulfilled from them with my new dagger. Even this little Tefari village has no chance against me and my great war axe. Thank you for donating your silver of the unfulfilled. This great axe is great and all, but I really wanted to get my hands on a legendary weapon. If we can get a legendary weapon this early in the game, the rest of the playthrough is going to be a piece of cake. Now, in order for me to get my hands on a legendary weapon, I need to kill one of these world bosses, and the easiest easiest boss that I know of is this giant crocodile. Well, he's kind of easy. I just have to remain weary of him hitting us because he does a crazy amount of damage to us, especially since we're only wearing medium armor. He hits damn hard and damn fast, so much so that he killed us. The giant crocodile is so damn far away that we've now lost our horse. Dude, is Thunderjack gone? Oh, he's gone. He's completely gone. No. I realized this medium armor wasn't really cutting it for us right now. We're gonna need something that gives us a little bit of extra damage and has a bit more protection, like this golden guardian armor. I like the way this looks, except for the pants. It's yeah, a little bit weird, but hey, if it helps us defeat our enemies, it's gonna have to do for now. This armor also gives us a little bit of a bonus to our strength. That's why we're hitting creatures with a bit more damage. I'd gotten distracted with the new armor and killing things that I forgot to go over and craft some honey for my bear. Once we had some honey, I put it straight into the animal pen and my bear was growing up. My rhino was a big grown man right now. I was planning on placing him in the world, then I remembered we could customize him a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. He's a tiger rhino, and a rhino like this couldn't go anywhere without being named. I then named him Buster Rhinos. It's kind of original, right? I think. I don't know. Day 16, we took off once again. Went to the edge of this mountain and scaled down it. It's quite easy if you just jump down and you can kind of slide. Best way to avoid fall damage. And right close to where we landed were some people, which also means some more silver of the unfulfilled. Since we're all leveled up, new armor and a new weapon, I felt confident enough to go into this area to go and try and fight some of these things in here. And then we came across one of the most grotesque creatures I've ever seen. This is a were hyena. You know, like werewolf, but were hyena because it's a desert. It's appropriate for this world, trust me. I would have thought they were going to be a lot stronger than they were. They're hella weak. Now, the reason why I ventured into these kind of areas is typically if there's a POI on the map and a bunch of people and baddies around, you can tend to find some pretty decent loot. Whether you find it on their body, like the sorcerer, or you loot the chests that are scattered around. Also, a nice little tip, if you ever see ghosts or little images like this just in the world, there's usually something around it that you can discover. I interacted with it and it taught me the belly dance emote. I ain't never gonna use that emote. We continued on killing everything that we could possibly see and that I was confident that I could kill, all until we made it to this area where there was a good 3v1. I really wanted to make sure I killed everyone here because I noticed that there was a few boxes around them, but we encountered a named thrall. Not only are they good for you to be able to capture and tame and make them your slave, but they're also quite tough in the world, but obviously not as tough as my war axe. I'll have to admit, these loot chests were pretty underwhelming. I mean, I could probably make use of some of these things, but mostly it's not that great. Then just outside of it, I noticed that there was another were hyena. I quickly healed up and went in for the attack. Huh? He's not attacking, but oh, he's a friendly NPC. Excuse me, Mr. Scorpion. Just trying to have a conversation with a were hyena. This weird creature teaches us the Midnight Alchemist. What does it do? I don't know. Do we find out what it does? Nah, never. But I'm sure it's probably some kind of cool content. I found myself at a random oasis kind of area in the middle of the desert where there were some crazy religious fanatics where I learned the Mitra religion. I noticed that there was a ghost nearby, so we knew that we could learn something nearby too. We saw this journal on the ground and learned the specialist cooking, whatever Roman numeral that is. We made our way back to the crocodile. I had better armor on now, so hopefully we could defeat it. I knew I needed some more health potions, so I harvested some aloe leaves and started crafting what I could in my inventory. I also came down here to hopefully get my horse Thunderjack back, but quickly realized he wasn't around. Well, he wasn't where he should have been. Thunderjack, where are you? Where the frick are you? Dude, it's gone. Oh well, looks like we're gonna have to fight this crocodile. Oh crap, he still hits pretty damn hard. Make sure we keep our distance. Wait for it. Oh! Ah, crap. So that's 2 hits and we're already down 2/3 of our health. Drink this. That was a bad idea. Oh no, we're good. Ah, dodged her. Ooh, doing good damage. Nah. Oh my gosh. This guy is murking us. Gotta rethink this strategy. Get our health up, run down here. This nice flat land might be a good place to fight. I tried to go into the fight one last time and quickly realized this wasn't gonna end well. So again, like the coward that I truly am, I ran away. But I had to redeem my own masculinity by killing these ninja turtles again. Probably a good idea to start heading back to base. On my way back to base though, I saw this Rocknose and started to murder that as well. Saw this cliff, thought I could jump down it peacefully, but no, I can't. That wasn't an option. With so much disappointment out in the wilds, there was only really one thing I could do to make myself feel a little bit better, and that is building stuff around our base. Like this is the Torturer's Bench. I think the next goal in our progression is to go and get some thralls that we can tame and enslave and get to follow us around so they can help us in some fight. And I need these 2 things, a truncheon and some bindings. I'll demonstrate how this works once we can find someone that we can capture. With my horse lost, I did know that you could craft a saddle for the rhino. I whipped one up, chucked it on my rhino, and started to head out. The weather conditions weren't really that good, so I went back to base and just waited it out until it was good again. I ended up changing back into my medium armor. You might be wondering why. Well, that's basically because the Guardian armor is great for going out and attacking things, but the medium armor gives you more capacity to carry extra things. And right now I need to do a massive resource grind, which means we need all the carrying capacity that we could possibly get. Yeah, you might be thinking I should be going out to taming some thralls, but you might notice in the games like this, I kind of squirrel a lot, meaning I get distracted a lot. I got so distracted that I didn't even realize that my bear was ready. After that massive grind, I came back into our crafting area and cooked up everything that I needed so I could start adding this. This is the Yamatai building pieces. Basically, it's the top tier building pieces that's significantly stronger than the sandstone stuff that we're using currently. And this was what I was working towards, really. The Wheel of Pain. The final step for us to be able to enslave our own thralls. And with a quick change of our armor, it's time to head out and try and kidnap a real human being. Now, to capture some of these guys, you need to be able to knock them out with the truncheon. That one was particularly easy, but it is a weak one. The rest of the other guys around here aren't very impressive either, but they are wrecking us. And beggars can't be choosers, so we're gonna grab this guy and run off. I think it's really hilarious how they just drag along the ground all limp and basically dead like that. Look, see here? This is the Wheel of Pain. Right here, right here. And once I put you in that, you're gonna love it. It's like a merry-go-round, like a carnival ride. So when you go in there, straight after it, when you're finished, man, we're gonna be the best of friends. I couldn't figure out how to get it working. Then I remembered you need to feed it gruel. Then I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. What am I doing wrong? Something wrong here. I just can't figure it out. That out, back in the thrall spot. I don't know. Yeah, you might think I'm a little bit of an idiot for this one, but I didn't realize that my thrall taming speed was so damn high. I eventually figured out the thrall problem, grabbed him out of the Wheel of Pain, and placed him to go and defend our base. Thunderjack, where the f did you come from? Wait, what? I just ran past you a couple times. I had no idea that you were still here. Where did you... What the... I ain't complaining. Thunderjack. Let's see if we can score ourselves a Sumerian Berserker. What is a Sumerian Berserker, you might ask? Well, in short, it's one of the best thralls that you can possibly get in this game. One reason, they're really, really strong, but the second reason, they're a guaranteed spawn. A lot of other named thralls are just RNG. You never know if they're going to spawn in the world. All I know is that he's usually in this kind of area, the puddle area in the Mountain of the Dead or whatever this place is called. I'm just got to find the freaking sticky bastard. Ah, there he is. Come here. You're gonna be my slave, you strong bastard. Yeah. Oh crap, what the? I'm equally angry and equally impressed. I really want him now. Currently, I know I'm not strong enough to be able to get myself a decent thrall, but from previous experiences in this game, I do know that there is a way that might give me a little advantage. I just needed to head to this NPC city. It's called Sepulchru, City of the Relic Hunters. This city is full of a lot of friendly folk, unless you accidentally run into them with your horse and make them really angry and then they chase you and want to kill you. Oops, my bad, guys. You guys really that angry? I accidentally bumped into you. You want to kill me right now? Oh, dude. I made my escape just so that they weren't so angry with me anymore, and then I heard this noise. What the f is that? What the f is that? At this point in the game, I had no idea what that thing is in the sky. Of course, I had to go investigate. Dude, there's floating people in the freaking sky right now. Oh, they're falling. It's raining men. Oh, they kind of... Oh, they're aggressive. This is definitely bad for us. Strong though? Oh, yeah, they're pretty strong. Oh, they're really strong. Let's go 1v1. Just shoot me, Mr. Storm Sick Warrior. Okay, not 1v1 anymore. Okay. Screw you, game. In the end, I still needed to make my way back to Sepulchru. So I jumped on the back of Buster Rhinos, summoned my bear to follow me, and started making my way over. This time though, I made sure to dismount, especially riding this massive rhinoceros. And I do plan on avoiding that big storm thingy in the sky. I then walked into this bar where I met Conan. Yes, the freaking Conan, as in Conan Exiles, Conan the Barbarian. If you don't know, you're probably a child and you probably just don't know. He rambles a whole bunch of nonsense. I really think that him being in this game should give a little bit more value than just talking crap the entire time. But back to the real reason why we came to Sepulchru City. We want to go to the bar that Conan's at, head right behind it, and enter in this door. Once we arrive down in this cellar, we are then met by this guy, Seth the Drunk. See that thing in his hand? Basically, we want it without dying. Oh, this is considered a dungeon? Heck yeah, I'm respawning right back here. Okay, round 2, let's try again. This time, hopefully we don't die. In this game, the fight mechanics are really good, so you gotta try and time your attack. Just like that, we have killed this man. Unfortunately, he didn't drop the item that we're after. There's a chance that he'll drop a steel truncheon that's significantly stronger than anything that you can make in the game, and helps you knock out thralls so much quicker and easier. I guess at this point, we're just gonna hope that he respawns kind of quickly. Instead, I decided to go out and explore the city and meet some of the locals. I'm really trying to get close close enough to see if I could find a decent named thrall here that I can basically enslave and take back to my base. There was this guy, but he's a guardian, and I don't know what they do or if they're even good for us, so I didn't really want to risk trying to fight him in the middle of the city. Instead, I decided to steal all the stuff out of this loot chest that he just left lying around. The next day, we left Sepulchru City to head off to this location, which is relatively close to Sepulchru City anyway. Oh, welcome to Rhino Horn Ridge. That doesn't seem to have any rhinos around, but a bunch of scorpions. Oh wait, sorry, it's called the Jawbone. Wait, there's like 2 areas in one? That's kind of weird. Now, I didn't quite come here to bully some of the local scorpions and rocknoses. I came here for another reason. We're here to gather this silverstone. Yes, you can harvest it from the rocknoses that are around here and from these ores that you can find laying around this area. I want to make sure that I fill my pockets with all this silver because I know that I probably won't return back here anytime soon. There is also a cave or dungeon or whatever you want to call it here as well. We ventured on in to have a little bit of a peek. I'm pretty sure I'm not strong enough to fight here, which was quickly confirmed when I started fighting the first enemies in this area. Nope, that's yeah, I don't think we will be able to win in this dungeon. Let's get out of here. And with that, I think it's time to leave. Yes, we returned back to the dungeon to see if this guy had respawned, and obviously he has. But after slaying him, yeah, he didn't drop what we wanted once again. Except this alcoholic just drops a bunch of alcohol. That doesn't seem to do much. Yeah, I don't really know. I took it anyway. Anyways, moving on, we decided to leave Sepulchru City, and I returned to go fight these big bugs once again. I mean, it's relatively close by and pretty much on the way back to our base anyway, so it's probably a good idea to do this because, like I said, killing this big queen is quite advantageous to our quests in this game. I switched over to these double daggers knowing that they could hit a lot faster, but it wasn't enough, and yeah, we died. Day 21, I placed down this treasure coffer into our base. This is a brand new addition to the Age of War Chapter 3 and is a part of the new Purge system. We have a little bit of treasure, so we placed it in there. I then took off to head down to the lake to go to this little cabin with all the NPCs. I wanted to come down here so I can try and get myself a decent thrall. I made sure to clear everyone else out except the one that I wanted to try and capture. This is only a tier 2 fighter, but it'll do. I really need a companion for the road, so I think this guy's gonna have to do until we can get something a little bit better. Once we broke him and he became our best friend, I placed him into the world and then I named him Gable. I don't know where they came from. It's just a name that popped into my head at the time. And since Gable's going to be our companion on the road, I made sure to make him some decent armor. After all, if you're rolling with me as my right hand man, I look after you, my boy. And to make sure that he doesn't die quickly, I'll go out and just kill some of the locals around this area to get him some quick and easy levels. We killed a bunch of these boars, but the best experience points is really in these wolves over here, as each one of these kills gives us 12,000 experience points. I then decided to do a little bit of work on my base. This walkway that I'm building here is designed to be the only entrance to my base. The enemies will just funnel straight into here, hopefully making them a little bit easier to pick off. Day 22, we did some more farming just so I could delete one of my stables. No, not really. This side of our base I wanted to extend out. Again, the Guardian armor is so bad for doing base stuff and trying to hold so much materials. So of course I had to get changed into the medium armor so I could increase my carry weight. We spent a vast majority of this day just building this entire platform out. I wanted to be able to place my animal pen up here. It kind of looks a little bit more aesthetically pleasing if it's kind of on flat land. It just gets a little bit difficult placing it into this world sometimes. We end up having to readjust it a bunch just to make sure it fits nice and flush. I then go ahead and start walling off this entire area once I'm satisfied that the animal pen fits nicely. I then go ahead and place these little half walls down to make sure that the funnel works more efficiently so that once the thralls come in, they don't drop off the side or they can't climb up the side. I don't even know if that's a thing if they can climb, but you know, at least now I know they can't. I then add some door frames and some doors to act as a choke point for some of the people trying to break into our base. It's likely once we get purged, the enemies are going to run straight for this funnel. So I place down some of my defending creatures around the front to hopefully kill them or at least slow them down. Since these Yamatai floors are quite expensive, I deleted them from this area so that I could move it to an area that's going to have more use for it. I then started to build a little bit of an extension on this side of the base here. Honestly, at this point in the game, I didn't know what I was going to do with this area, but I can assure you later on, I make good use of it. Oh, and in regards to those Yamatai floors, I moved them to our front. Oh, and in regards to the Yamatai floors, this is where I moved them to. It makes a little bit more sense considering we're probably going to get raided and smashed in here. I also had enough materials to place down a big Yamatai gate right here. This should make defending our base a bit easier too. And since I've been grinding, we had a spare few materials left over that I could place down this Yamatai stuff around here anyway. Not only is it supposed to be stronger, but it's more aesthetically pleasing than this sandstone stuff anyway. Day 23, I removed my bed so I can place down a Yamatai foundation below it. And this ends up being a little bit of a mistake later on. These Yamatai building pieces cost us hardened bricks, steel reinforcement, and shaped wood. And all of those things have to be crafted and cooked up in some of the crafting benches, making the upgrade of our base a bit of a grind. So to alleviate some of that boredom, we went back out into the wilds to go and do some more exploring. My goal right now is to collect a bunch of thick hide, which you mainly get off rhinos and elephants and some of the bigger creatures in this game. I can tell you now, having Gable by my side make killing things so much easier. Like, even the ferocious tiger had no chance against me. Ooh, some babies. I mean, just free helpers. I might as well yoink it. This will be my first time taking on an elephant, and I'm pretty sure they're significantly stronger than the rhinos. And one of their attacks is quite dangerous. It knocks you down and, yeah, it makes it kind of hard to fight. But having Gable there is quite handy, and he makes, you know, a significant amount of difference, which means we were able to slay this majestic beast and harvest it for all of its juicy hide. Problem is, I got weighed down once again. It's okay though, Thunderjack can do all the heavy lifting for us. Dude, some baby elephants. Frick yeah, I want some of these guys around my base. Kind of weird that they fit in my pocket, but hey, yeah, you know, sweet. Continuing on, we made a new discovery, Swagger Rock. There was quite a few tigers around this area, but I also saw some tiger cubs, and of course, they're going to be the best thing around our base. So just as Uncle Jeffrey would do, I went and kidnapped these kids. Yeah, buddy, we got some tiger cubs. All right, that's epic. They're going to be freaking amazing around our base. Our main goal was to go out to the savannah to get a bunch of thick hide, but I won't lie, I was pretty damn excited about having some tigers in our arsenal. So I fed them some exotic meat because, you know, we got to look after these babies. Oh yeah, I can't forget about the rhino and the elephants as well. Except we currently didn't have enough room to grow up absolutely everything that we had at this point in time. Day 24, I realized that there's a lot of value in this medium armor that we're wearing, just with the carry weight alone. But I wanted something with a bit more armor protection, so I crafted the heavy version of the same armor. I'll admit, just for some default armor, I think this looks pretty damn cool. And I gave that archer that we'd captured earlier my old armor. I mean, it's better than nothing. I started running dangerously low on brimstone, but I know of an area on this map that I can go and collect a bunch of it. I just need this sandstorm breathing mask first before I could go and collect it all. Back in the desert, we venture on off forward to go and get some brimstone. Thankfully, it's not too far of a journey to get there, because just like that, we're here. This place is called the Shattered Springs, and although it looks pretty peaceful at first glance, it's actually quite a toxic area. So if you're not wearing this mask, you could probably die to all the poisons and stuff. And see these things? This is the brimstone nodes that we can collect. Like literally, the entire place is scattered full of them. Oh, and I probably forgot to mention, not only do you have to worry about the poisonous gas in this area, there's some pretty deadly rock noses that protect the brimstone. But once you kill these rock noses, their body is actually made out of brimstone too. So yeah, go ahead and harvest away. Oh, you're a different looking rock nose. What are you? Gonna have to kill you to find out, sir. Sorry, just curious of what you are. Crystal Rocknose. Okay. Yeah, I'll take some crystal off your body. Thank you, sir. We continued on killing a bunch of rock noses and gathering some more brimstone from these big pillars here. But then I saw something in the distance that looked a little bit odd. I went over to go and investigate and realized it's a big mama jamma. Oh, lordy. Oh, dude. I don't know if I can fight this guy. Oh, no. Gable, no. Gotta stay away from him, son. You're gonna get your ass beat. No, this isn't looking good. Oh, Gable, you just got your ass kicked. Bro, we gotta get out of here, son. Let's go. Phew. I think we made it out of there alive. Day 25, I was starting to feel a little bit more confident fighting some of these bigger creatures. So I wanted to go and fight a certain world boss. It was just quite a ways away. So I cut through the unnamed city, and this ended up being quite the mistake. As we were traveling through, Gable tried to fight these people that were there. I tried running away and making Gable follow me, but we got the notification that Gable was killed while following me. Gable, you freaking idiot. I had to go and fight them. That kind of sucks, especially with what we have coming next. My plan was to fight this big guy. Yeah, we're back trying to fight the giant crocodile again. I got a few extra levels up my belt and some better armor, so hopefully we can defeat this guy now. We actually get a big chunk of his health down, so it's starting to look quite good. I'm hitting him and I'm dodging somewhat okay. I got this big beast under half health, making sure to keep my distance and time my attacks. We're still in this fight, but I only had one health potion left that I just drunk. I had calculated that he could probably hit me 3 or 4 times before I die. That's one hit. Oh, there's the second hit. Oh, hopefully we don't die. Come on, we need to kill you. His health is starting to get really low. We might actually win this one. Oh, he said it's the 3rd time. We can't afford to get hit one more time. I knew at this point my only chance of surviving and guaranteeing my victory was to collect some plant fiber, then turn that plant fiber into some rough wraps. I just had to maintain enough distance so I could heal myself up. We didn't fully heal, but it was enough for us to survive at least one hit, which we happened to waste from doing a stupid roll that was ineffective. I had enough health that I was confident that I'd be able to go in for the attack. His health is extremely low. I think we're about to win this one. He hits me once, I run away, I go back in for the attack, almost ready to kill him, and he beats us to it. Bro, we were so damn close. Before the day ended, I traveled on back down to go and try and fight this guy once again. I went in for the attack and yeah, realized the dude's already dead. Bro, Thunderjack, did you kill him? I have no idea how he died, but I'll take this as a W. Now, the main reason I wanted to kill this guy was to be able to harvest him so I could collect this, the skeleton key. Now, skeleton keys allow you to open chests that typically give you a really good legendary weapon that does significantly more damage than ever. The thing is, in previous Conan Exiles, the legendary chest used to be right here. I just have no idea where the freaking thing is. Dude, where's this freaking box? I swear it's around here somewhere. So it's supposed to be right there. Are you under the rock? I looked everywhere and couldn't find this legendary box. Don't worry, comment section. I figure out what's happening later on. Day 26, I figured out how to get myself a legendary weapon. And yes, things have changed in this game since I remember it. In order for us to get a legendary weapon at this point, we need to hit up a dungeon. The dungeon here in Skulker's End is probably going to be the easiest one that we can attempt at this point in the game. We just have to clear out a camp of Dafari tribesmen before we can enter it. And just up these stairs is the dungeon. It's called the Dregs. Now, to enter this dungeon, you actually have to sacrifice a person or, you know, kill someone up on this kind of level here. I wish I could show you, but I had to go and help out my little friend here because he was having a little bit of trouble with some of the Dafaris. Yeah, as long as there's some blood on the top here, it'll open up and we can enter this dungeon. We entered in this spooky place and I saw some tablets. I read them and then we learned the Dredger. I don't know what that is and I don't think I ever find out. So yeah, we are then met by some of the creepiest and largest overgrown lizards I've ever seen, the albino Komodo. Although kind of scary, they're not much of a threat. Continuing on further, we see a bunch of ghosts staring at this wall. Nope, that's not a wall, that's a door that enters into the next area. I have previously done this dungeon before, so I remember how to get through. I'm picking up these branches and some stones so I can make myself an arrow. I need a bow first, so I just steal this off my archer friend here. Once you have the bow, you come down here and you'll see this circle. You hit that and the place starts filling up with water, which allows you to swim up to be able to get to the next area. We then come face to face with some skeletons that we have to defeat. And I don't know if it's because I'm a lower level or anything, but these guys are a bit tougher than I remembered. Damn, dude, you're getting your ass beat right now. Here, have a health potion and heal up. We've now made it into the next room. This whole place is supposed to be a massive puzzle, but if you kind of know what to do, it becomes significantly easier. It's pretty simple. You see one of those things, just shoot it with your bow and arrow. And the next step is quite clear. We repeat this process once again in the next area, shooting targets and waiting for water to rise so we can move on to the next place. But it's here that things start to get really, really sticky. I go down these steps and see a massive spider. It hits me quite hard, so I make an escape. Instead, I find myself in this room where I'm met with some skeletons that I have to kill. They're nowhere near as tough as this big spider, so I think we're doing pretty well. But as luck would have it, that damn spider followed us all the way here and was attacking my archer. I got out my hand daggers hoping that the bleed damage would help us in this fight. I don't think I have many options but to fight this spider. I thought I could escape by going through this door here. Surely that spider can't fit through that door. Oh crap, it's freaking there. Well, guess I have no other choice but to fight. I defeated these two skeletons and then my follower got another level. That's good, I guess. But he was also moments away from death as well. And just as luck would have it, the spider came back up just as I was trying to heal up my friend here. The spider jumped up in the air and body slammed my archer friend, which made him perish. I needed to make a swift escape, and I know all creatures here are scared of water, so yeah, we just jumped across here and you can't get cross. I waited and had to rethink my strategy. What was the strategy that I came up with? None. I just didn't want my horse to die because it wouldn't follow me across. Really, it's just run around in circles and try not to get hit and then try to hit it whenever I possibly can. We repeated this process for a good 10 minutes. I had enough health potions to keep myself alive and we were doing some pretty decent damage. The spider only had a smidgen of health left and I went in for the kill and we finally killed this damn spider. What is with this loot? This spider's been munching on some crazy stuff. Oh, I'll take that cleaver though. Harvesting the spider also gave us another skeleton key. We then continued on and then had to go through another puzzle room. This target was a little bit further away than before, so it took us a couple shots to be able to hit it. This eventually leads us to the boss room. We're gonna have to fight this boss solo without a thrall to help us. So I start by healing myself up with some bandages and making sure I'm at optimal strength. See that slimy shaft hanging out of that thing that's kind of like smoky or whatever? That's the boss. I want to avoid that water because I'm unsure if it's poisonous or anything. So I start by shooting it with some arrows. But when this dungeon boss dives under the water, I know it's going to do this thing next. It body slams on this pathway so I can then go and stab it in its big gut. Honestly, this boss fight's kind of underwhelming. I feel like fighting the spider was way harder. All I had to do was just run around in circles and avoid getting spat on. Most of the time, it just attacked my horse anyway. Then then once it body slammed onto this thing, I'd just go up and stabby it again. Honestly, we just repeated this same process the entire time. There's really no point showing you the entire thing because all we did was the same thing over and over again until it was dead. Bruh, this thing's low-key ugly, but kind of cool looking too. I went ahead and started skinning it, and then we got some pretty decent loot from it, not just hide. We then find a red journal on the ground, and that's where we learn a bunch of new armors and weapons. But also, this is where those skeleton keys are used. You once used to find the loot chests in the wild, near the world bosses, but now you have to complete a dungeon, and then you can get the legendary loot chest. The one thing though I do like about this dungeon is you can just leave going through this, and it pops you out in the middle of the desert. Just above the Dregs Dungeon is this obelisk, so we ran over to it and attuned our bracelet. One legendary weapon that I got from the Dregs was this, the Unintelligible. I wanted to test out to see how decent this weapon is, and I think a 2-hit kill on a boar is pretty overpowered. I wonder how this will go against this big boy. Dude, 3 hits and he's down. Let's go. Yep, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say things are going to change from here on out. I then went to go check on my animal pen, and all my creatures are fully grown up. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that I stole a baby crocodile earlier when we were fighting the giant crocodile. I placed this elephant right at the front near the gate so that it could defend us a little bit better. Surely they're strong enough to do some pretty decent damage, right? I then wanted to make sure that my new legendary weapon really was strong by testing it on these wolves. And yeah, 2 hits to kill 1. Yeah, things are looking good. Day 28, I crafted up a fluid press for our base. The fluid press crafts a bunch of things, but particularly, I'm after oil. There's only really one way to get oil right now, but in order to get them, I need to collect some insects that you gather from these bushes, because in order to get oil, we need to catch ourselves some fish. And as far as I know, these fish traps is kind of the only way to get them. Once placed, you fill them up with some insects, and they'll just gradually bait the fish to catch them. It takes a little while for the fish traps to work, so we went over to this little place and farmed it once again. I really wanted to go have some fun with my new weapon. I still hit really hard, but goddamn, my armor sucks. We almost died. It's okay though, we have some health potions, so we're back in this fight. The good thing about this place is there's some pretty decent loot lying around in some of the chests. Like a star metal repair hammer, that's OP. And as luck would have it, there's already some fish traps here that we can come and take some of the shellfish out of. 3 or 4 minutes has passed, so we checked our fish traps and there was a few fish in there. I waited a little bit longer to make sure we could get the most fish out of these fish traps as possible, collected them, and then made my way back to base. It's quite a simple process to make some oil. All you gotta do is fill this fluid press with fish. Unfortunately, not shellfish, which I didn't know at the time. And that's really it. The oil will just start crafting on its own. We also had the chance to fill our coffer with a few more items that we collected from that little place that we went and killed all these people at. We have a really strong weapon, but we need some better armor. Thankfully, I know a place that we can go and learn the blueprints to make some pretty decent armor. It's just over here, right next to this obelisk that we're going to attune to. Yeah, this sinkhole down here that's surrounded by some freaky undead hyenas. That's only the beginning. Once we look down this hole, yeah, there's an undead dragon. There's a whole other way to be able to get down here, but I'm gonna do it this way. Geronimo! Yeah, we're just gonna climb down the side of this because going through the actual way to get in here is way harder than this is. Oh crap! Oh no, we're good. Oh, that was close. I need to get all the way down to the bottom there. I could jump, but there are some stairs here. I just have to deal with a little bit of corruption on the way down and a bunch of skeletons as well. But really, we just need this tablet because as you can see, we just learned a bunch of Dragonbone armor and swords and weapons and well, everything. Whilst I was down here though, I encountered a creature I've never once seen in this game before. Holy heck, what is that thing? Do I risk it for the biscuit? What do we do? Alright, make sure we're healed up first. Stuff it. The worst that can happen. We die, we'll just come back to life. Oh, you're not so tough. Oh, that looked scary, but you were damn slow, boy. And now you're dead. Blood Crystal Golem. Okay, what happens if I harvest you? Blood Crystal. Sweet. I don't know what you used for, but hopefully you find out later. Now, at this point, I wasn't sure whether I should fight this dragon or not. I know I'm probably not strong enough, so I decided to leave it. Psych! He started fighting my horse, so I had to go defend my noble steed. Ouch! Sorry, noble steed. We are out of here, son. Bro, we ain't gonna be able to survive this. Tried making escape and realized I was going the wrong direction to get out of here. If I go down that way, it's a lot more dangerous than fighting this thing. Now I was really stuck between a rock and a hard place and couldn't get through. I just had to take the L on this one. I don't know what I was supposed to do in that situation. Damn. We didn't actually spawn back at our base. Instead, we spawned at the bedroll that I laid down earlier. But it's not all that bad because we're close to the Unnamed city. And this is where we find these guys. They're baby dragons. A lot easier to kill than that big dragon that just stomped us out. But when you do kill them, you can go ahead and harvest then for Dragonbone, one of the main ingredients in creating Dragonbone armor and weapons. So I spent the next little while searching around the unnamed city, finding these baby dragons, deleting them, and harvesting their corpse, which was going all fine and dandy until Big Mama got a little bit angry that I was killing all of her kids. We died. I suppose it's kind of okay, because we just spawned back at base and can now make ourselves some Dragonbone armor. Psych, we can't do it. You have to be level 60 in order to make the special leather that you need to craft this stuff. Oh my god. Because I need to be able to unlock this, the Exile Epics armor sets. Then I can craft epic leather that I can use to then craft Dragonbone armor. Day 30 and I'm a man on a mission. We're currently level 49 and I need 11 more levels to be able to really progress in this game. And the best way to really progress in this game? Cold-hearted murder. I really didn't care what it was. As long as it gave me experience points, it was gonna have to die. I don't really know a better way to level up at this point. I did see a level 3 archer on my journeys, so I knocked him out. Oh crap, he fell over the cliff. Oh no. Deal with this guy quickly. Taskmaster, you're a dead master. I arrived back at base with my brand new Thrall, but I forgot that I don't have a Wheel of Pain currently, so I had to place one back in my world. Once this new Thrall was broken and probably my slave, I placed him down in this world, got rid of his crappy bow that he had, and replaced it with this one that I had collected on my journeys. And since archers are an agility build, I made sure to put some agility armor on him. In my opinion, this armor looks pretty ridiculous, but hey, it gives him good stats, so that's really all that matters. I had also gathered some more treasures, so I put them in my treasure coffer and stole a bunch of decorations from all the places that we raided. Thunderjack had respawned at our base, thankfully, so he jumped on the back of him and began to head back out. If you're familiar with this game, you probably know where I'm heading. Yes, we're heading back here to go and try and get myself a Sumerian Berserker. We are stronger this time than the last time that we fought this guy. Well, I am. My archer, not so much. I make sure to time my dodges and avoid getting hit, but ultimately, this guy's just way too strong. I returned, but this time I returned with a bunch of health potions, and I realized it was my stamina that's really letting me down. So I made sure to keep my distance and watch out for his attacks. They're kind of easy to read. I would only run in when I knew I had a decent amount of stamina and just continue a combo and flurry of hits, all until I had about a quarter of stamina left, and then I'd dodge away. Because if my stamina completely depleted, he'd probably hit me and kill me. And that was my strategy for being able to knock out the Sumerian Berserker, chain him up with my bindings, and run his floppy body home. Day 31, this Sumerian Berserker is now our best friend. This guy's so special, I had to give him a name. I'm gonna name you Arnold Swardanig. Oh, just Arnold. Arnold's fine. Yep, Arnold's gonna be your name. I then dressed Arnold in some fancy new gear. Well, it's just hand-me-downs, but you know, it's new to him. And then took him out to go and get some pretty easy levels. Also wanted to watch what he could do. Holy crap, 182 damage per hit. Bruh, you're a beast. Once again, wolves are some of the best ways to get some easy levels so close to our base. And for those of you who care, these are his stats. Still figuring out how to read them, so I'm hoping they're good. I then went ahead and filled in this little area here that we'd kind of left blank. Then I placed some walls up just to keep it kind of safe from what's about to come next. Yes, I'm preparing for a purge, our very first one. Probably a good time now to be able to put these creatures out and about to try and protect our little treasures here. These two tigers will protect the inside, our crocodile and boar will protect our little walkway here, and I upgraded some of the foundations and stairs on the outside here. Then I went and said hello to the treasure man and proclaimed my wealth. It gives you a bit of a warning screen before you do it, you know, just in case you're worried that you might lose absolutely everything. A big drum noise sounded. I ran back outside to go and see the people coming in, and yeah, there's nothing happening right now. Yeah, you gotta wait until you hear this noise. That signals an enemy camp being built, which means they're ready to come and attack you. I wasn't gonna lie, I was pretty nervous at this point. I have never done a purge or seen a purge in my entire life. They could easily destroy my entire base, and that'll put us basically back at square one. We were doing a significant amount of damage to them, but they were also destroying a bunch of my animals around. No, my elephant's dead! You freaking punks. I think putting those big gates there was a good idea. We had a couple guys standing there trying to stab the gate, but it wasn't very effective. They weren't very tough, but it was just the sheer numbers that were doing the most damage to me. And waves of these enemies would keep coming. I was extremely grateful that we had Arnold by our side though. He came in clutch multiple times. The purge basically continues on until you get this notification. The Stygian Hand of War challenges you. He's kind of hard to see, but that's him right there, the guy with the fancy armor. All we need to do is kill him and victory is declared ours. He drops these commander keys that we can use to free some of these thralls that they have within their encampment. And yes, these thralls now become our slaves. So is it really freedom for them? I don't know. We did gain this thrall though. This is the Barkeeper. In Age of War Chapter 3, you can create your own tavern, which we'll do a little bit later on, and I'll give you more details on how that works then. Those keys also also open some of these containers. The loot in this particular purge wasn't that great, but I'm assuming as the purges get harder, we get better loot. I didn't actually have a tavern ready for this barkeeper, so for the moment, we just got her to wait inside the treasure room until we build her a place to live. We finished off this day by creating one of those Yamatai tigers. It low-key looks kind of weird, but kind of cool. I don't know. Give me your opinions in the comments. Day 32 starts with us mining a bunch of ironstone. This was easily one of the biggest metal farms that we've ever done. I mean, just look at that. That's over 4,000 metal that we've gathered in that little trip. But the grind never stops in this game. You're always and forever having to harvest resources. And in this case, we're just trying to get as much as we possibly can so we can upgrade our base. But I get really bored easily, so we're heading back out for a little adventure once again. Yes, we're heading to a certain cave that helps us unlock sorcery. It's around here somewhere. I know it's in this vicinity and I just have to follow this ridgeline and then oh, there it is. And inside we're met with some undead ninja turtles and we gain some corruption. These caves get hella dark, so I got my torch out. At least you guys can see better. I can usually do okay without the torch, but I want to make the video good for you guys. We then make our way through to this old abandoned scary little cavern that's obviously man-made. I check to see if these boxes are full of anything, but they're not even openable. I was pretty sure that all I had to do was approach this bench and press down on E to be able to learn the sorcery skill, but it wasn't working for some reason. Hey, yo, I think the game's broken. Why can't we learn sorcery right now? That's kind of weird. I even checked my knowledge tree to see if it was there. It wasn't, but I button bashed E a couple times and it just seemed to work. So yeah, that's good, I guess. And with that, we learned a couple spells. So of course I had to try it out. This one in particular is supposed to make us an ice bridge, but I think the little table there's in the way. So I moved over to this location and tried again. This time, much more successfully. Now we have an ice bridge that we can cross and collect some stuff out of these boxes. Was it amazing loot? Not really, except that gold bar is pretty good. But hey, in the end, free is free, right? Honestly, gaining sorcery in this game was kind of a waste of time for me. This is really the only time I use it in this entire playthrough. I'm sure there's plenty of use for sorcery, but for us, yeah, it really wasn't in our playbook for this playthrough. Day 33, and we've made our way into the Unnamed City. And we were coming here to pick up yet another skill. This skill was going to be able to open up the entire map for us. But first, we have to kill a bunch of skeletons. And this thing, I didn't even know what this really is supposed to represent as like a dead skeleton creature, but it's pretty tough. Oh, and I can't forget to attune my bracelet to this obelisk here. Damn, we're getting a lot of corruption. I'm gonna have to fix that up when we get back to base. But for now, we need to head into this ancient temple place. In this room, we learn the map room. We just need to go over to this big alien dude, speak to him, and we will learn cartographer, which then basically unlocks us the map room. Now, what exactly is a map room? Basically, it's a thing that you put in your base that allows you to teleport around the world of Conan Exiles, but only specifically to those obelisks that we attuned our bracelet to earlier. We weren't that far away from Sepulchru City, so I went in to go and watch some of the sexy dances with my friend Conan here. And not for the reasons that you think. We're trying to lose the corruption that we gained from being in the Unnamed City. But if we have to stare at some pretty peasants at this time, I'm gonna take advantage of that too. And oh no, a sandstorm came through, so we have to stay here even longer. Hey yo, did the sandstorm mess you up, my boy? I mean, you should have just came inside and watched the sexy dances, my friend. Again, whilst I was here, I might as well go down here and see if I can get that really good truncheon. He didn't drop it once again. Day 34 starts with us upgrading this little funnel that we made at the front of our base. I made it a little bit wider so we could have some creatures and some thralls defend it, as well as me being able to get through and fight if they do break through. And we finally had enough materials to be able to turn most of this into the Yamatai pieces. These little elevated foundations are there so I could put some archers up there. You'll notice that the space is a little bit bigger, so now there's a little bit more breathing room for fighting. Oh, and I finally decided to plug up this hole in our roof. You know what's fun about this game? Just standing there staring, watching bricks cook. Literally, all we did was stand here and wait for these bricks to cook. It's worth it though, because we were able to upgrade our base. Most importantly, I wanted my treasure room fully enclosed in with the Yamatai pieces. It's a little late on in this playthrough, but I finally placed down a grinder. This does exactly what it says it does. It grinds things down, mainly into powders and ash and stuff. Then I crafted up a dryer, which does, again, exactly what it says it does. It dries things, mainly meat and berries and stuff. On all of our adventures, we had gathered so many random things and items that I don't really need. So to make them useful in some way, I made the dismantling bench that allows us to, well, do exactly that. Dismantle items and turn them back into resources. I don't exactly remember where I got this, but this Silent Legion pauldron is significantly better than our heavy armor. I might as well wear it. We had also collected a bunch of gold and silver, so I placed that around in our treasure room. It makes this place look a little better and also increases our purge limits, I suppose. Since we had now learned sorcery, I placed down this, and I am not going to pronounce what that word is. It's basically like the sorcery's crafting bench. Again, I don't use sorcery sorcery, so I never come back to this in this game. I also can't believe we're this late into the game and it's the first time I put down a stove. Do you know how much better cooked food really is for you? Yeah, I should have been using this from the get-go. Again, I was starting to get bored from being around the base all this time, so I wanted to do some exploring up north. I had looted some fiery hot meat soup while I was out and about, and it's supposed to give you warmth when you're in a frozen area. In the past, when I've crossed this bridge, we started dying just about now. No, not from all the enemies here, from the cold. Oh, wow. These guys are a little bit tougher than anything we've faced yet. Oh, another obelisk. We are now attuned with the snow biome. Little tip for you guys. See this little bit of ice thin sheets here? If you harvest it, you get, well, exactly that, ice, which you can use once you go into the volcano area to keep yourself cool. Day 36, and yes, we're climbing a mountain in the snow. The only problem is I don't have enough stamina to get all the way up. I did have the idea of placing some foundations in the side of the wall to see if I can grab onto them, regain my stamina, and then continue on. But that's if I could actually get on top of the damn thing. Maybe if we go around and we climb up and hey, stamina's regained. Nice, very nice. Oh yeah, we're easily gonna make it up. Oh, what the frick? How did we fall? What, is it because I'm too cold? This is stupid. We eventually made it up this mountain. Why are we here? Not for that stuff. We've already got enough ice. And no, we're not here to smack up some mountain goats. We are kind of here to smack up some rock noses, yes. But we're really here for this. This is called black ice. It's a late game resource that you have to gather that helps you craft armor and weapons, and it does a bunch of really cool stuff. I gathered enough to fill up my inventory and my horse's inventory as well. I gathered as much as I could, but we ran out of stuff to keep us warm here. So it was time to leave the snow biome and head on home. For those of you that might be curious, these are the attribute points that I've been placing in. Again, I'm going for the strength build with some grit. It's a little bit messy now, but be sure that I do fix it up a little later. And to demonstrate how this black ice works, you place it in your furnace alongside some steel, and it will craft hardened steel, which you can then go on to craft a bunch of things, really. Day 37, I made myself a hardened steel pick. I had made a hardened steel hatchet as well. Of course, I had to put my new hardened steel pick to work. Sometimes I'm just a big kid with my new toys. I was also drying up a ton of wood in my dryer and realized it also crafts resin. Resin can be used for a bunch of things too. I realized I'm gonna need a lot of tar, and the easiest way to get it is through the tannery. Don't ask me how or why, it just is. Thus, we went out on a murder spree to go gather a bunch of pelt, fur, and hide. And I'm pretty sure we did a good job. Yeah, look at that. In this game, there's a lot of resource harvesting. I mean, a crazy amount. And for the sake of all of our sanity, I'm not going to keep most of this stuff in. You're just going to have to assume that I went out and did a lot of grinding. Instead, we're going to focus on the fun bits, like jumping off mountains only to grab onto them and slide down. No way, is that a bunch of chests? Bro, lucky day, son. Oh, this one kind of sucks. I mean, I'll take stuff anyway. Maybe I could decorate my base with this stuff. Ooh, that might be good for our base. We're also significantly stronger with some pretty decent armor now and a crazy strong weapon. So I wanted to go out and clear out this den, really test my skills against the wilds. Literally, nobody could stand up to me and my friend Arnold. But really, we wanted to try and find some decent thralls. We came up empty-handed in this one though. Day 38, we head on into Sepulchru City to try and find ourselves a decent thrall. And the Conan gods answered by giving us this guy, or girl. How do I hit this girl without attracting too much attention? Stuff it, YOLO. Go down, go down. Oh my god, you're taking a little bit longer than I expected. Everyone's here, crap. Arnold, don't kill him, Arnold. Don't kill him, Arnold. So Arnold actually has a truncheon on him at the moment. He doesn't have a weapon, so you shouldn't kill him, but he can't defend himself too well. And sometimes, yeah, neither can I. When it gave me the option to respawn, I noticed it gave me the option to respawn at the dungeon. So this could be our lucky chance to go and beat this guy up once again, and hope to God he drops what we wanted. No, and he didn't. But the best thing is, we're in Sepulchru City, so I could go straight back to try and get that Alchemist. I saw in the distance, though, Arnold was fighting. So I ran back over and tried to get into this fight. I honestly just didn't want Arnold to die, so we had to just kill everybody. Arnold's more important than these guys are. I also didn't want to be all this way and come home empty-handed. It ain't much, but this little dancer here's coming home with us. I arrived back at base and put this dancer straight into the Wheel of Pain, then placed it right down here, and now we have our very own sexy dancer. I mean, Stygian dancer. I crafted up some cool-looking clothes to make it look less like a peasant. Yeah, get it. Get it. Get it. Oh, woohoo. Then I continued decorating my base. I like this brazier because it's also practical in lighting the place up. And the carpet here also makes these tiles look way better. We had to light this area up too to make our animals feel safe and calm in the light and not so, scared in the dark. After missing out on the chance to get ourselves an alchemist, I realized we really do need one. Later on, they become extremely handy because only the named alchemists can craft certain items. And that's why I'm here, the Summoning Place. Really an unoriginal name for an area, but it is what it is. There's a chance here that there's a witch doctor, which is a named alchemist thrall. I found this little scribbled thing here on the ground and it gave me a new skill. some specialist cooking. Once I opened this chest, there was a big chest plate in there. Well, that's what I thought it was at the time. I realized later that that's a golem chest, and these are golem arms. There was a named thrall called the Cannibal Brute here, but when I hit it twice and killed it, I was no longer interested in trying to capture this. We didn't get our Alchemist, but we'll return here later until we hopefully do. Again, I'm on the hunt for thralls, so we're back in Sepulchru, hoping I can get something here. Whilst I was here though, I was then approached by this prowler, and he was not friendly. I started fighting him, his friends started to join in, and Arnold wasn't much help because he only had the truncheon on him. I did try and escape though, only to end up in another place full of more of them, including their leader, the bandit leader. We defeated all of these guys with ease and continued to move on. Because they were so easy, I figured we'd find more of them and try and fight them. Again, I'm trying to get to level 60 as quick as possible, so as much experience points that I can possibly gain is gonna help. Well, until I die. All my armor's currently broken, so I had to craft up some more. I made the Stygian Raider mask, and the Raider boots, and the Raider gloves. In my personal opinion, these look kind of stupid, and they weren't the things that I thought they were. But it's gonna have to do until we hit level 60 and I can make some really dope armor. This was also the first armor that I added some plating to. You see, the thing is, the only way to add any of these improvements and upgrades is if you have fully repaired or the durability is fully maxed out. Otherwise, you can't make any upgrades from the tinkering bench. Day 39, I had to try and find a place for all this golem stuff. I put it in the Tanner's table. I'm not too bothered with storage. I just use all the crafting benches as storage anyway. I then put this golden harp in my treasure room. Hopefully it makes it look a little prettier in there. I then took off for another little adventure. We're really trying to hit that level 60. That'll change the entire game and help us move forward, especially since I'll be able to make that Dragonbone armor that's perfect for the strength build. So my plan is, if it's strong, I'ma kill it because it'll probably give us some decent experience points. I also returned to the Sumerian Berserker spawn point. Since it's pretty close to my base and it's a 100% spawn rate and they're super strong, I might as well try and collect as many as I can. They're definitely going to help out around the purges, and maybe if Arnold dies in the future, I'll be able to replace him with, you know, another Sumerian Berserker. I should really be trying to level up my character, but yeah, I get distracted really easy. If you haven't known that by now, then yeah, it's a thing. But I did have ingenious designs for my base. See this little foundation here? I place it down so I can go over here, and if I place an archer here, it's got pretty good line of sight straight into my little funnel that I've built. I also built stairs going up to the roof. I had planned on doing a second level, but it kind of just sits like this for a while. Day 40, I placed a Sumerian Berserker into my world and realized he had the ugliest haircut I'd ever seen. My guy, what the hell is wrong with your head, son? Oh my god. Unlucky, bro. I then went ahead and named this guy George because he kind of reminds me of my old bald boss. And of course, George needs some extra levels. And by now, you probably already know the go. We just kill all the locals around the area, especially the tough ones like the wolves and the big boar. Don't forget, we got to skin them as well. I also put some more archer armor onto my Hyborian Exile that we got from, I forget, we got it earlier. I think from the Purge. Then took him out for some very fun leveling as well. Remember, kill a wolf a day, keep the Purge away. That's not how it goes, but you get the point. My mans, you're gonna guard here. This is your post. Here you go, bro. I decided to change back into the Guardian armor. This armor has a higher armor value and it, well, it looks better. And that's the only thing that's really important right now. Purge time. This time it's a level 2. Let's do this. We're already level 59 and we're just a smidgen away from hitting level 60. So I figured a Purge would be the perfect way to hit that big number. This time I perched up on this little place here so I could watch them come in. But I forgot one crucial thing. Because I'm a freaking idiot, I left a hole in the back of my base here so they can run straight in. And because I'm an idiot, I left this door open. So of course they just ran straight on into all of my tigers. Let's go. I stay at the back for a little while trying to defend this back entrance here. I'm just hoping the guys at the front are holding down the fort there. Once I go to check, it seems okay, I guess, so far. There's a lot of little peasants running in, but we can one-hit all of these guys. Oh, this Purge isn't so bad. Some of our defenders right at the gate seem to have perished. Ooh, that's a demolisher. I need to kill him first. I need to kill him because he'll break down my gate. What the hell? Are you speedrunning now? I continued killing all the guys trying to purge our base, but for some reason we weren't hitting level 60. I think they were too weak to be able to give us decent experience. And eventually we got the message that we'd been waiting for. I just had to deal with this demolisher first. Oh, and this one. Where the hell are they coming from? When I was ready to go fight the Hand of War, I saw George was already in there, so I had to go join him. Finally killed the Hand of War, but George was still fighting this guy. He was tougher than the Hand of War. So tough, in fact, he killed George. Dude, you really killed George? You have to pay. You have to pay. You have to pay greatly. Hey, we hit level 60. Yeah, that's pretty good payment. All right, which thralls did we gain from this? Who are you? Oh no, you're another freaking barkeeper? Bro, we got one of you already. A level 1 archer. Oh, you suck. Hopefully there's decent loot, I guess. Nah, that's ass too. We placed the barkeeper in our treasure room. We're probably gonna have to start building our own tavern soon. Then I ordered this new archer to defend this doorway. The Purge was definitely worth it though, because now we're level 60 and can unlock a bunch of new blueprints. But most importantly, the Exile Epics blueprints. This is pretty straightforward. Now we can unlock epic armor that gives you a significantly more armor value per item. time, and sometimes some extra stat points as well. The main ingredient is this perfected heavy padding. The only problem is it requires hardened leather to be able to be made, and hardened leather is really expensive. You need normal leather, thick leather, alchemical base, and oil. Luckily, we've been grinding some of this for a while. Although we had a lot of leather, we know that we're going to need a lot more, specifically thick leather. So yes, myself and Arnold went out to go and murder some majestic big beasts. Literally, nothing was safe. If you drop thick leather, I'ma kill you. I even took this opportunity to fight the skull level rhino, but then I saw our biggest target yet. Yes, this is the world boss elephant, and this big boy is tough. Like, watch this stomp. Yeah, that kicked my butt. All in all, because this guy's kind of slow, it was pretty easy to avoid some of his attacks. And he kept his eyes on Arnold most of the time anyway. And like that, we got the W. Then we went on our merry way, murdering all of its cousins and sisters and family. See you later, Dumbo. I accidentally got a little bit too close to this castle here, and all of these little peasants came out to fight. Arnold, bro, we need to get out of here. Yeah, and I think this stick card will be enough for us for now. Day 42, we headed on out back to this area for two main reasons. We need to kill these guys and then collect their Ica, because Ica is a main ingredient in crafting alchemical base. I also wanted to fight this queen. Surely now that it's me and Arnold, we can defeat this girl really easy. Well, maybe not that easy, but you know, like, maybe we can have a shot at killing her. The fight was pretty damn tough, but we got to kill her in the end, and yeah, that's a victory for us. Dude, what the frick is he doing? What is happening right now? Is that a game bug? Get it? I know you were dancing and having fun, but I really need your Ica, sir. Sorry. We successfully returned back to base with a crap ton of Ica, then started crafting up as much alchemical base that we possibly could. Alchemical base is used in a lot of recipes for the mid to end game. You also need gold and silver dust to be able to craft it, so we used the grinder to make it. I then begin the construction of the next piece of our base. This entire place is only going to be made out of the Yamatai building pieces. I finally had an idea on what to do with this little area that we had kind of built. You might be wondering what this is going to be. I don't know, is the roof not got enough stability here? Alright, if I place these things down, they should help with stability, right? If not, they still look pretty cool. I don't know if that worked, but the roof pieces are going in anyway. If you're really smart, you probably guessed it. Yes, this is gonna be our tavern, and no tavern can be truly complete without its barkeeper. Hey, there we go. What does this do? Oh, you can trade? Oh, okay. Some alcohol, food. That's kind of cheap, I guess. Weird little tip, it's a really good idea to decorate your tavern. Well, really, you just need to have a bunch of chairs around, because that's how you fill it up with people that you can eventually hire. Day 43, we went back to Sepulchru City with the hopes of finding ourselves a named thrall in this area. We didn't find a named thrall, but we did find some people that want to fight us. These guys are just kind of annoying, really. I didn't find a thrall straight away, but I found a cat and stole it. We stole a cat. We then found a named thrall, and it's a Tanner. It's not exactly what we're after right now, so we're going to keep looking. First, we got to kill some of these bandits again. I was a little bit overconfident when I was fighting these guys. We got outnumbered really quickly. Oh, crap. There's heaps of them. Bro, Arnold, you better fight, boy. We're getting... Oh, crap! Oh. This is looking bad. Fuck! Once I finally returned, I saw Arnold fighting for his life. And then he died. No, Arnold! I will avenge you, my friend. And avenge him, I did. Well, until they killed me, that is. I'm back in Sepulchru City again, because I really need a named thrall. That's when we discovered this guy, Bragorus the Baker. Cooked named thralls are really good thralls to have. Problem is, I need to clear out some of the guys around it first before I can even attempt to try and knock him out. I just gotta try and kill the rest of the guys and not kill him, which is much easier said than done. So I draw them all outside and fight them off. I managed to kill a couple of these guards, but they kind of messed me up pretty good. When I ran away to try and heal myself, they got in a cheap shot. All right, let's try this one more time. He's all by himself. I'm just gonna try and knock him out. Man, you're pretty good with those daggers. Be even better if you're asleep, bro. Just go down, man. Oh crap, whoa, he's one. Can we do this? Dodge and weave, bro. Dodge and weave. Ooh, now. Aha, you're down, son. With our name thrall down, there was only one guy left to kill. And now we have our very own personal chef. I dragged this guy's body all the way through the desert. I was excited because we had a name thrall. But then this happened. This isn't any editing magic. Yes, my game crashed. I loaded back in as quick as possible and was met by a Rocknose that I just yeeted into another existence. But where is my thrall? I searched everywhere, up and down this hill, around this mountain. I followed my tracks as far back as I thought was the place that it could possibly be, but that name thrall is gone. Was he back in the city? No, but all the other dead bodies were around, so that could mean that he's around somewhere. In the end, we couldn't find him, so we gave up. Back in the dead mounds, we're coming for a Sumerian berserker. I was depressed about missing out on that cook. At least this guy I can pretty much guarantee that we're good to get. I went ahead and named this Sumerian berserker John. No particular reason, it's just a name that came to my head at the time. And of course, our first point of call is to go and level up John. We went over to these wolves, but we saw a wolf that I've never seen before. Holy heck, you're a different kind of looking wolf. Oh, you got a skull above your head. Ooh, you're a tough boy, huh? You're tough. Holy crap! Well, didn't see that coming. Yes, turns out we got killed by a corrupted wolf. It's okay though, because John was back there holding things down. Thank you, John. You are the man. Day 44 was still grinding up ingredients so we can make ourselves the Dragonbone armor. But there's one thing that'll make this whole process a lot easier. A named Alchemist Thrall. So we went out to go hunt one down. There's a few locations on the map that they have a chance to spawn. This is obviously one of them. And just like that, we're off to a great start. I put my Alchemist hunt on pause for a little bit because we were really close to this area, the Dirgewood. This is obviously full of a lot of scary glowing skeleton monster things. One-on-one, they're not very tough, but when you get overwhelmed with a bunch of them, it can get a little sticky. We were able to defeat them all though, and then move on. We're actually here to enter this. This is a boss dungeon. This ominous cave holds this boss. I was kind of lagging out for a bit, so some of the attacks were hella weird. But in the end, this boss was really damn weak. He did break our chest piece though, and if we harvest his bodies, we'll get this item, the Datum of the Giant Kings. That item is one of the things that we need to be able to complete this game. I searched around this boss room to see if I could find any loot. I couldn't find any, but I did find this tablet that gave us a new blueprint. Vanquisher of the King Beneath. I never use it. Back at base, I placed down this Dakurdo Shrine. Apparently, if I upgrade it, I could transmute items into Ica, which we're gonna need a lot of, and might help us save time going out farming Ica from all the monsters. I just need these burn offerings to be able to upgrade it. And just as luck would have it, I do have some Eyes of Set right here in this chest. I placed it in, selected to craft it, crafted it, but when it crafted, I only got 20. I need 30 to be able to upgrade this bench. Anyways, we finally had enough materials to be able to make our first Dragonbone armor. Once crafted, I made sure to put some thick armor plating on it. Day 45 and we're back here at the Defari big camp thing. Again with the hopes of finding ourselves a named Thrall. And we found one. Haka Six Fingers. This is a Fletcher named Thrall. They do like carpentry and stuff, but we're really not after that. I would have grabbed it, but we're so far away from base, I didn't want to have to drag that all the way home. Instead, we carried on because we are close to another place that I wanted to come to. We just need to get past this guy. This is a boss level Rocknose, or corrupted Rocknose. They're actually really cool. Once you harvest them, you get a bunch of different resources. Basically every Rocknose resource that you can get. Anyways, we're trying to get to here. Yes, this big mountain. I decided to climb all the way up it, which got a little sketchy because there was a sandstorm in the distance. I'm just hoping it doesn't come this direction. I didn't really have much choice but to keep on climbing. Eventually, the sandstorm subsided and we could continue on to our destination. So apparently, up this mountain, there's a teacher that can teach us how to make golems. I eventually reached our destination. Well, kind of. I get to the top of this thing and then I look up and realize I could have walked up this from the other side. Yes, it's safe to say mistakes were made. This place is kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. Like, look around, look at all of this. Conan Exiles. Oh, you got an interesting hat on, my friend. After exploring this place, we then introduced ourselves to the Master Carver, Huang, and learnt the Golem Constructor skill. Golems work similar to Thralls, except they can be really damn strong if you build them correctly. As we were making our way back home, we came to this village and was approached by the Claw of the Jabal Slag, if that's how you say it, I don't know. I began to knock this guy out, except John was trying to kill him. Pretty happy I was able to get my hands on a named Thrall. At least this way, we didn't have to return home empty-handed. Here's an interesting fact. If you're holding onto a Thrall and you try and climb something, apparently you let it go. Hey, Mr. Sag fella, you're supposed to be coming with me. So I guess we're gonna have to run the long way home. Day 46, we finally made it home with our brand new Thrall and started cooking up all of the stuff that we had gathered. Oh, and we were now able to upgrade our Dakurdo Shrine. But when I looked in it, I realized there wasn't a thing that I could use to be able to craft up Ica. Oh, well, I guess it is what it is. Don't worry, we do figure it out later, that you have to use the fluid press to be able to do it. So we had to go out and collect some Ica the old-fashioned way, which was going extremely well until I fought the Queen. If you noticed, I haven't been using our legendary weapon. I'm back onto the Star Metal Battle Axe. Our legendary weapon is about to break, and John was killed by this big insect bitch. Ah, John! No. Oh, crap. Bro, we're getting our ass beat. I got away so I could heal up a bit, and then I went in for the final kill. Was this worth it just to gather some Ica? I don't know. But life goes on. We've got 100 days to get through. An alchemist will allow us to be able to craft oil back at base. But now we still have to go with the old-fashioned method of being able to gather it from fish. And honestly, it doesn't actually craft that much. We need a lot more oil if we want to be able to make the full set of this Dragonbone armor. Day 47, and we are back at this Defari temple thing. I'm getting really desperate to find a named alchemist Thrall. And no, not this cannibal brute. There was a named performer Thrall who I managed to knock out, but I wanted to make sure that there wasn't anyone else around, and that's when the Conan gods answered our prayers. Oh, we got a Defari witch doctor. I made sure to avoid all the attacks, kill everyone around it, and then single this alchemist out. I managed to knock it out and was able to tie it up and escape. Then we had to make the long ride home, but this would be well worth it. Oh yeah, I forgot that we got that other guy earlier, Claw of the Jabal Sag. I went ahead and named this new Thrall Jethro. I think it's a pretty damn cool name. Who doesn't want to be a Jethro? And here is our new alchemist Thrall. The witch doctor, get to work, boy. Now we can make oil. All we need is bark and Oh crap, more Ica. I made another crafting bench. Well, just a better one than what we had. This is the improved Fireball Cauldron. Having this upgraded means we can place in more materials that we need to be able to craft extra things. And we plan on crafting a crazy amount of alchemical base. Day 48, I got my new Alchemist Thrall to work hard, making spices. We use spices to be able to craft certain foods that we can eat that will help us in the snow area. It has taken us a while, but we can finally make ourselves some Dragonbone armor. Well, some of it at least. And of course I had to put the thick armor plating on it. And there we have it. That's the full set of Dragonbone armor. Well, except for the feet. I went back out to go and fight these insects once again, but I really had my eyes set on the queen. Fighting this girl was quite difficult at this point because it was kind of laggy and I couldn't predict her movement. With the combat being kind of Souls-like, you really need to be able to watch what they're doing to be able to predict when to dodge. We were so close to death, but so was she. This was anyone's game. Either it attacks me and I die, or I attack it, and yes, it's dead. Now we killed this creature for two reasons. One, yes, we need to collect Ica, but two, we wanted that skeleton key. We really need to replace our legendary weapon. We just need to find a dungeon that has a bunch of legendary weapons. Cleo's Stronghold should have some. I chose to test myself on these little guards right outside the dungeon. I soon realized if I can't beat these guys, I'm gonna have no hope inside the dungeon. I really need a strong thrall on my side. That's probably my only option at this point. I returned back to base and I upgraded our alchemist bench to the improved alchemist bench. This should be a much better way to be able to make some more resources, and our witch doctor should be a lot happier with this at least. Remember when I said I need a thrall? Well, yeah, Sumerian Berserker is definitely the way to go. This way I don't have to worry about the RNG and risk of trying to look around to find anyone else. In Conan Exiles, you can really rely on a Sumerian Berserker to always be there for you, unlike certain people in our lives. Daddy, it's really become a tradition to be able to name our Sumerian Berserkers too. I mean, they're traveling along by our side this entire time. They need to have a cool name, like Tim. Yeah, Tim's definitely a cool name. And of course, brother Tim needs some levels, especially if we want to do some dungeons. Tim, we need to get some legendary weapons, and right now, you're probably not strong enough, and your armor's pretty crappy. Yes, we need to get the ball rolling so we can get some legendary weapons so we can really do some damage in this world. So I spent the morning making some Dragonbone gear for Tim here. It's not a full set, but it's gonna have to do for now. Myself and Tim then traveled on out to the silver mines. This should be an easy one, and I'm hoping that there's some legendary boxes and loot around here. All the human NPCs were pretty easy to be able to kill, but as we traveled further on into this little dungeon cave mine, we were met by harder and harder enemies. At one point, we had to face a 3-star skeleton dragon. What are these things called? Which we disposed of quite easily. We continued on traveling down this spiderweb infested cave, which led us down to some new enemies. These enemies are extremely tough, so I made sure to heal up Tim. I had fought these guys in my previous 100 days and they absolutely murked me. This is where we fight some of the deadliest scorpions in this game. No, not this one. This one's, you know, relatively easy. It's that big black girl over there. When she hits you, she poisons you and does damage over time. But it's all of her minions that make it really hard. She also has a slight damage reduction, which means she's extremely tough and can take a hit. I was trying to focus on Tim, noticing that he was losing a lot of health, and forgot about myself. It's now day 50 and we're still in this cave. We made our way back to the scorpion and Tim was still fighting on until he was killed in battle. Now it's just me and the scorpion fighting 1 versus 1. I'm doing absolutely everything I can to avoid getting hit and picking the right moments to go in and attack. Unfortunately, because this little scorpion was teleporting all over the place, I couldn't predict its attack and I died. Conan, bro, sort your shit out, man. Dying because of a skill issue is one thing, but dying to bugs is just freaking annoying. By this point, I'd fully given up on fighting in that cave. After all, it's so much harder without a thrall companion. So yes, we went back to go get a Sumerian Berserker. Again, it's crazy how much easier they are to knock out now because I'm so much stronger. This gentleman had some nice long luscious locks and looks like a Matthew. I gave him some of the hand-me-down armor from Tim. I'm sure he doesn't mind wearing some dead man's clothes. Day 51, we took Matthew out on an adventure. We wanted to go and raid this helpless village. We came here for 2 reasons really. Slaughter as many enemies that we could and try our luck in finding a named thrall. The only problem was Matthew was a little bit bloodthirsty and killed him. Ah, come on, Matthew, man. Freaking idiot. I swear in this game, we're not actually the good guy. Like, our job is to literally go around and murder everybody and steal all their stuff. Dude, literally nobody is safe. You're a priest? No, you're a dead priest. This is a rather large village, so it did take us the entire day to get through it. Day 52, we find ourselves back in Sepulchru City. We're really trying to find ourselves a crafting named thrall. Blacksmith, armorer, anything, you know, anything that we know that can help us out. Did we find a named thrall? No. Instead, we found some prowlers that wanted to fight. But myself and Matthew handled our business and killed them all. When we came up empty-handed, I hiked my way up to a place that I know that there's a named thrall. Remember Freya? Yeah, well, having named archers is pretty OP, especially for our base during purges. Just got to try and knock her out without her falling down the mountain. So I kite her a little bit over here. And there we go. We've got ourselves a Freya. Just had to run her all the way home, which really isn't too far away from where our base is, and secure her in the Wheel of Pain. Continuing our mission to find us some named thralls, yes, we're back at the Teferi temple place. And we found a freaking thrall that we can use. Oh yes, named cook. Cooks are really helpful. Really helpful. Indeed, they are very helpful. Named cooks can craft up a bunch of new dishes. We'll check him out once we get back to base. It just always feels like a really long hike back to base from the Teferi temple. That's why I don't just grab any kind of thrall from there. It has to be really worth it. I made it back to this area and I remembered I couldn't climb it, but I had the idea of building a little platform or ramp that I could use to get up it, and it works like a charm. Day 54, I came to my old stomping ground. Yes, if you know about my last 100 days, this little area is where I built. But there's always some relic hunters here, and typically a named thrall or a pretty decent armorer. As you can see, there's this level 3 armorer here. Bro, you're already knocked out. I didn't even realize. Well, sir, you're coming home with me. The armor is not a named thrall, but because it's a tier 3, it should give us some additional bonuses at least. And I'm kind of getting sick of not finding thralls that I'm really after. I cooked up my brand new thralls and placed them in their respective benches. Oh, this thrall gives us new armor pieces that we can make. Oh, that's actually really cool. No thrall with a thrall. My named cook can't work on this piece of crap stove. Instead, it's gonna work on the improved stove. Yeah, now we can craft a bunch of spiced meats and stuff with honey and other, well, dishes. Yeah, I suppose this is good. I don't know. I thought it was going to be better. Day 55, we went on a little bit of an adventure to go and explore an area that I haven't explored just yet. Holy crap, there's freaking spiders here. Ugh, that's creepy. I hate spiders, bruh. We found a shrine that people were praying at, so I killed them. It's called Mirtra's Serenity. I also stole all the things around it too. That's when I stumbled across another player's base. Yes, I'm playing this on a server if I haven't mentioned that already. You can play on this server right now too if you like. Just join my Discord for all the information. And I wanted to use this time to remind you that if you want to purchase this game, use my link in the description below and my promo code and you'll get 20% off. It also helps me out massively. On this little adventure though, I got to bully some of the locals. They had cages, so I think they're the bad guys in this situation. I also found the creepiest cave that I've ever found. It's called Executioner's Entrance and it's full of freaking massive spiders. I'm Australian, so you think I'd be sweet with spiders. I'm not, man. But these are about accurate to the same size of spiders that we do have here. In the depths of this cave, we got jumped by a whole lot of these spiders. They were relatively easy to slay though. And the other thing that makes this trip really good is spiders drop ichor. Remember, we need a crap ton of this. There was also a bunch of brimstone along the edges of this cave, so I harvested what I could. As we went further in, we then met different enemies and discovered the Death Whisper ruins. We entered this last room that had spiders and skeletons, and they all wanted to party. Things started looking a little shaky at one point, but we managed to get the job done. Matthew was really holding things down for us. We ventured deeper in and took on a bunch more skeletons, like a whole lot of them. It was always like 4v1 at one point. Then we were left with one big boss. He focused most of his attention onto Matthew, and Matthew has significantly more health than I do, so I just sat in the back striking his butt until he died. Oh, we got a legendary item? Executioner's Hood. Yo, that's really damn good. After defeating the boss, I entered this little room here, expecting to find some really cool loot, but this is just all for show. There's nothing here. Day 56, we continued this little exploration adventure, which led us to some ancient ruins that was inhabited by a colony of interesting looking people. Not only are these damn ugly, they're super weak. Even this big guy didn't last 2 shots from me. This new area is the jungle biome. It rains here the entire time. That's kind of why I don't love it that much. But we were trying to get ourselves to here, Buccaneer Bay. This is an area on the map that has a lot of enemies, particularly pirate types and these big panthers. But it also holds an interesting place. This area. No, none of these guys are trying to kill me. It's quite nice. Instead, there's a bunch of merchants that you can go ahead and buy different creatures from, like those big birds there, some spiders, and this one gives you some thralls if you have the right amount of gold for it at least. I do have gold, but I didn't bring any with me, so we're gonna have to miss out at this point. Instead, I just did exactly what I know I could do at this point. Murder. Literally nobody was safe. I wanted to clear this entire section and see if I could get some good loot and even maybe a good named thrall. Razor Gord here might have been a good named cook, but I already had a cook, so there's no point in me trying to capture him. He's kind of really hard to knock out anyway, but he's a lot easier to kill. I'd cleared this place out and left a bunch of dead bodies. It was now time to move on. I then traveled on over to some more ancient ruins that was surrounded by some rather aggressive flamingos. As we ventured on a little bit deeper, we were met by these chimpanzee types. I killed them. For reference, this place is called the Forgotten City of Zelha. We even encountered a big gorilla. I was afraid it was going to wreck us, so I went in for the attack and made sure it died before it could swing at me. There was another reason why I came here. It was to enter this. This is yet another one of the major bosses that you need to fight in this game. It can be a really fun and interesting fight. First, you need to fight these statues and destroy them, which at this stage stage of the game is relatively easy, but before the second one comes out, you have to avoid these green lasers. It's not difficult to avoid them, but they're kind of a pest. I am glad that we don't have to fight both of these strong statues at the same time, but once you've cleared both of these bodyguards, you have to fight the real boss. Let me introduce you to the Witch Queen, whose fight was really underwhelming, but we killed her and we gained the mask that we needed. Then we went to go sniff her seat and learn some new armor and weapon blueprints. Day 58, we went on over to Sepulchru City, and for some reason Matthew felt a little bloodthirsty. Matthew, bro, you're always getting us into trouble. These guys really don't deserve this. This visit to Sepulchru City isn't for thralls this time. This time we're gonna go visit this lovely lady in here, Razma of Shem. Basically, she was the Witch Queen. When she wore that mask, she turned into that evil person. But when I ripped it off her face, she turned back to normal and came back to Sepulchru City. Fun fact, if you climb on top of her roof, go up to this thing, you learn some relic hunter gear. You probably already noticed, but I gave Matthew the Executioner's hood. I wanted to check how he was tracking in terms of levels and how he was growing. So far, so good. Since we've done so much traveling out and about, I probably need to do some more work on our base, especially if we want to get some more purging in. This little area here is designed so that the enemies kind of funnel in with a bigger space. I plan on just kind of waiting around here and slaying them from this area. Does anyone else have troubles trying to place this big gate exactly where they want it? Like, I hate the fact that it only places on the halfway point of these squares. It's now day 59 and we really need to get ourselves a decent legendary weapon. And I'm pretty sure the Warmaker Sanctuary is going to have exactly what we need. I just have to clear some of the hardest mobs in this game. No, not that guy. This guy. They have a set of attacks that stop you from attacking and kind of stun you, and they're super tough themselves. These other skeletons kind of make it hard too. They just added pests. This blue glowing giant was focused purely on Matthew and was absolutely destroying Matthew. I need to make sure I can get in so I can finish the job as well. And yeah, we did. Phew, that was lucky, Matthew. Dude, if you died there, the rest of this whole thing would be so damn hard. We then entered into the next room, and this is kind of a central area that leads you into multiple other rooms with different low tier bosses that you have to fight. The first boss had a couple skeleton guards around defending him and dropped some legendary loot. These exquisite silk leggings. They're light armor and not really something that we're going to use, but hey, it's still pretty cool to have. The second guy had some tougher skeletons defending him, and he dropped another legendary weapon, the Balius. This is a strength type weapon, so it'll be pretty good for us. I kept it in my hotbar just in case, but I really didn't want to use it unless I really had to, because I want to take it back to base and use the tinkering bench to upgrade it a little bit first. The next room, we met the boss in what seems to be kind of study. I'm sorry to disturb you, friend, but I need to kill you. He didn't drop any good loot. The next room was definitely one of the most interesting rooms to enter. That guy in the center there, it's not a normal boss type creature. I think it's supposed to be like a demonic vampire or something. Whatever it is, it's hella cool, but also hella creepy. In the end, we're here to go and kill people so we can progress through this dungeon and try and secure some really good loot, which we seem to successfully do. We got Crom's hammer from this guy. Oh, you're just bathing in like a bath of blood? Ugh. I'm gonna stab you. Oh, what the hell is Powder of Corruption? Interesting. With all those mini bosses killed, I had to go to this area. Remember the center room? And you place in these statues, and eventually you'll get the Inner Sanctum key, which we could then use to go through this door. This next section of this dungeon is filled with a bunch of traps. Ooh, you see those little discs on the ground? Yeah, they're traps. Avoid that. Oh! Dodge that. Oh yeah, I also swapped out to these daggers. They're agility weapons, so I don't really mind wasting them, but I figured because they're legendary, they might be good to use. I tried my best to skip this area and just continue on, but I need an arena key to go through this door. So I tried my best to avoid some of these traps and fight desiccated skeletons. We even had to fight one of these big guys again. I don't enjoy fighting these guys at all, but if you get him trapped in one of the traps, he'll just eventually die. And he drops one of the best weapons we found so far, as well as the key we need to progress. Moving on into the next room, and this is easily one of my least favorite rooms. See that person over there? Yeah, she's a really tough boss. I'm gonna try and find a way around this situation. Day 61 was genuinely one of those days that was quite boring, but very necessary. We spent most of the time just doing some housekeeping, sorting through all the loot that we just got from that big ass dungeon, upgrading some of our legendary weapons with some damage kits, you know, all the fun stuff. I now had an upgraded legendary weapon, and man, was this satisfying to use. Literally, between mine and Matthew's attacks, nothing could survive. On the odd occasion, I would check my tavern to see if there was anybody here that I could hire. Most of the time, there wasn't really anything worth hiring. It was fun watching my dancer dance though. Day 62, I whipped up some brand new armor for some of my thralls. I put this Yamatai armor on Jethro, then I went out and moved Freya to this location. I mean, that's a pretty good vantage point, really. With all my thralls set, it was time to summon in another purge. This time, it's a level 3 threat level. All right, here we go. Oh, I missed. Oh. Bro, they're one-hit wonders. Let's go. Yes, in fact, this first wave of enemies were really weak. Waves of enemies kept coming through, but myself, Matthew, and my rhino were holding things down. Then the Master of War Slaves came out. She wasn't too hard to kill. This entire purge wasn't too difficult at all. We managed to fend off most of the enemies trying to break through. Then it was just myself and the Hand of War 1v1 mono a mono. Well, that was until Matthew came to come back us up. And the Hand of War killed me. I was able to return and then finish off the job, but still kind of sucks dying. We didn't get any crazy amazing thralls, but they weren't terrible either. In the loot chest, we got a battering ram, and this thing we're going to use quite a bit a little later. The following day, we went back over to this village. Apparently, there's a few different name thralls that can spawn here. Oh, this new weapon's so good. Just kind of slow. I was really hoping to get my hands on an armor or a blacksmith. There wasn't one where they usually spawn though. This trip wasn't all wasted though. I did get to harvest some silver of the unfulfilled from these dead people. I decided to stick around a little bit longer since these villages are quite big. I'm glad I did because we found some ghosts that gave us a new skill. We can now do the chicken emote. More importantly, we found a named thrall and a really damn good one at that. This is Dalancia Snow Hunter. She's an incredibly powerful fighter thrall. Some might consider her stronger than the Sumerian Berserker. But for now, we have secured her. Day 64, we ventured back on over to the snow. On this little field trip, we're doing another dungeon. This dungeon is called the Black Keep. Once we enter, the first room has a lot of different passageways that you can travel down. I choose to go left. Really not sure why I decided to go left, but we had to start somewhere, right? This dungeon is a complete maze. I get lost multiple times, but all I kept thinking to myself, if there's enemies alive there, then we're usually on the right path. I made it to this bridge thing and I could hear this noise, so I assumed it meant something, but I didn't want to jump down there at this point. I think I have been here already. Oh, yes, I have. It literally felt like we were just going around in circles. Oh, I'm lost. I'm so lost. Oh, guess I'm not. Holy crap. We seriously got lost in this dungeon. It was kind of frustrating because this room here is exactly where I needed to be. I just missed something really important. Yeah, that box right there on that ledge. That box literally has the key in it that we need to be able to progress on further. We run around in circles in this dungeon a few times until I eventually watch a YouTube video that tells me what to do, and then run straight back to that box. All right, where is it? Oh, so dark, that was hard to see. Oh. Okay. With that, we found a room full of traps and some really good loot chests. But most importantly, we were able to get through this door thanks to the ancient key and then come face to the face with the next boss. 1 attack, 2 attack, 3 attack, 4. Your heal is slow and I'm gonna attack you some more. This was one of the easier boss fights in this game. Surprisingly, really easy. This boss attacks really damn slow. It's kind of weird. You'd think being in the snow biome would be a lot tougher. I discovered there was a tablet behind the boss and we learned some really good armor blueprints. On our way out, I came to investigate this noise. Saw that there was a little chest down there, dropped down, checked it, and yeah, it wasn't really that great considering how much effort it takes to do this. So we dropped down into the water, and when I looked down, there's some chests down here. Not crazy, but I mean, I'll take some free goodies. Day 66, I had a peek in our armorer's bench and noticed that we have some brand new shiny armor that we can make, and the materials that it requires to make it doesn't seem that hard to gather. I'm gonna need a lot of star metal, which also means I need some exploding arrows. I just haven't learned how to make the exploding arrows yet, and I don't actually have enough points to be able to learn it. That's kind of okay though. We can just craft up this potion. The potion of natural learning basically resets all of our knowledge points. That also means we have to relearn basically everything. The bonus is if I've already got a crafting table down, I don't go ahead and learn that. I don't need it. I've got a crafting table of that piece down. I don't have to learn it. It does get a little finicky trying to work out what we should learn and what we shouldn't. It's crazy because all of this just so I could learn some explosive arrows. It'll be worth it though. This is exactly what we need to be able to gather star metal. We had some spice steak, star metal pickaxe axe, a decent bow with some explosive arrows. We're pretty set. Time to head on out to go and try and track down some star metal. It took us a hot minute to try and track something down, but we eventually did. Yeah, see this? This is star metal. But once you shoot it with an explosive arrow, the juicy goodness comes out and you just go ahead and pickaxe that. And since we're already up here, I gathered a bunch of black ice as well, which we do need for star metal anyway. We'd gathered all that we really needed. This might have felt like a short trip for you, but trust me, for me it wasn't. Because sometimes even all the traveling is such a drag in this game. But before I could cook up some of this star metal, I wanted to upgrade our little blacksmith area. Now we have an improved blacksmith's bench. I just need to pair it with the biggest furnace I've ever seen in my life. It's so damn big I had to remove some of the roof, but hopefully this smelts metal better in some sort of way. I then go ahead and place in all the star metal ore that we've gathered, as well as the black ice, because like I mentioned, you need both of those ingredients together to turn into star metal ingots. Whilst the star metal was cooking, we went around to the other benches and gathered up all the materials from them so we can make ourselves a set of the the Redeemed Legion gear. And just like that, we have a full set, fully upgraded and everything. Because we had the level 3 armor in the armorer's bench, we got a couple more percentage points of strength damage. And even with all this lag, we still did a significant amount of damage. Day 69 and we have some great gear. So now it's time for us to explore further than we ever have before into some rather dangerous areas. For example, this Ice Gorge cavern thing here has these 2 massive boss type creatures. Did I want to fight them? Hell no. Like, dude, look at those big ass behemoths. This is where we were heading. This is the lava area, volcano biome, whatever you want to call it. And this place holds a new resource. It's obsidian, but it also drops gold. The obsidian's really heavy, but we could stock up on this gold to fill our treasure coffers back at base. This new biome even holds this new Rocknose, the golden Rocknose. Yeah, if it's not obvious, it drops goldstone, like a lot of it. But as we continue, we meet some NPCs that are rather friendly. But Dalencia, she's not that friendly. Oh yeah, did I mention we're out with Dalencia? Sometimes I forget to set their engagement thingy. I managed to meet a semi-bald merchant. For a little bit of gold, he gave me some berry juice. Yes, in this area, it gets really damn hot, so it's good to have some ice on you or some juices to keep you cool. And you really need to watch out for some of these NPCs. You can't really tell who's friendly and who isn't. I have no idea how to tell. If you know, let me know in the comments below. We even came up to this shrine, the Shrine of the Oracle. Yeah, that wasn't as interesting as I had hoped. And then we finally made it to the obelisk and the Chundo bracelet. Day 70, we stumbled into the Well of Skelos. Sometimes if you're lucky, you can find some really good name thralls here too. And sometimes if you're really unlucky, you can hit a person and fall into the dungeon. Ah, crap. Well, that's not the worst thing that could happen. I went in and fought a couple people and even headed down to this big forge down here. This forge must be quite important because there's a lot of talking happening right now. There's even some bodyguards for it, whom I quickly disposed of. So this forge is called the Volcanic Forge, and it's the only way for us to be able to smelt obsidian. You can't make that back at any other forge back at base. This area is actually a whole dungeon as well that we need to complete to finish this game. I'm just not really prepared for it at this very moment. Day 71 was basically just another resource farming day. We're particularly after leather, not just the little leather. We need some of the big leather as well. On our way back to base, I decided to fight the big giant crocodile boss. I'm sure he drops a lot of leather too. It's crazy how far we've come from being absolutely murked by this guy to absolutely destroying him. Back at base, I finally built something I could have built a very long time ago: the Golem Workbench and the Guardian Assembly Station. The Golem Workbench is where you craft all the pieces you need to be able to construct your very own golem, and then you'd put it in the assembly station to bring it to life. In our explorations though, I'd collected a bunch of pieces already. I placed some of the pieces into the Guardian Assembly, but realized it's gonna need some legs. I just need to learn how to make them. Luckily, I reset my knowledge points, so now I had enough points to be able to learn what I needed. And now we have all these new blueprints unlocked in our Golem Workbench. Day 72, I'm still trying to figure this whole golem thing out. We need a whole bunch of parts just to be able to piece this thing together. Like literally, look at this. This is all endgame loot, and that's all I need for 2 legs. I swear, this guy better be worth it. Okay, we have our Guardian pieced together with some scraps we found out in the wilds and some legs I put together. Rise, my son, rise! Oh, it's doing something. Bro, we got corrupted? Yo, you are beastly, son. And you make creepy noises. Okay. This golem has 13,000 health points. That is crazy. 13,000. You want to know something that I did straight away with this golem? Yeah, I took it out to go and get some levels, only to find out golems don't level. I think he'll make a great defender of the gate. It was at this point in our playthrough that I realized Matthew has gone missing. Was he somehow in the tavern? No. He should be out here somewhere. I couldn't see him, and he wasn't around the perimeter of our base at all. But even when we checked our followers, he was still alive. We just couldn't freaking figure out where he was. Day 73, we're back at the Wells of Skelos. This time with the goal of completing this entire dungeon. This dungeon is guarded by some really big, scary snake-like people. They're relatively easy to kill until it's moments like these when we have 2 boss level guys fighting us, 2 little snakes, and then just a random on the side. The simplest of scenarios could get a little sticky. Really, Dalencia? I'm getting my ass kicked over here and you're just fighting down there, the easiest person? Yeah, sweet. Stupid girl. Thanks to Dalencia's Snow Hunter's help, we were able to defeat these 2. This dungeon is pretty straightforward. You kind of just follow the path. It's just kind of long, especially when some of the enemies are pretty strong. So long, in fact, it even bleeds over to the next day. It's at this point I try and take a shortcut. Well, I didn't know it was a shortcut at this time. I just thought this is the way to go, but obviously this isn't really the way to go. But we're just gonna try and continue on anyway. Again, one of the things I do love about this game is being able to climb things. Makes you think, is there any real right way to go in anywhere? This worked out perfectly. Yeah, we gotta fight a couple enemies, but there's a bunch of loot crates here. Like, look at this enemy moonwalking all the way over to me. Oh, gotta love Conan bugs. Gonna have to slice and dice this dude up and eat some snake tonight. You reckon snake tastes good? If you're worrying about the loot from the loot chest, it wasn't terrible. But now we finally made it to the boss of this dungeon. I must say, this is one of the most interesting boss fights I've ever done. You gotta fight a bunch of ghosts that are just kind of splat when you hit them. And like literally, that's all you do over and over and over again. He sends waves and waves of them after you, expecting to do something to you, but they just don't. Eventually, they stop coming. He releases his force field around him, and then yeah, kills himself. Like I said, this was a strange one. See that purple thing there? That's what we need to be able to finish the game. Well, one of the pieces. And behind my man's here, this is where we get all the juicy loot and the tablets so we can learn all the obsidian armors and arrows and weapons. Well, there's actually quite a lot. Getting out of this place could be kind of interesting though. The boss is actually quite close to where we come in from the entrance. Just this broken bridge that separates us. The only way out really is to just YOLO it and jump down. And just like that, we're back at the obsidian forge and can make our way home, successfully completing another dungeon. Day 75, after yet another successful dungeon run, I came home to bank all of our really good juicy loot and start another purge, because why the hell not? It's kind of weird though, when they came in, they built their little fob base quite far away. I managed to fight a few and destroy them, but when I went in to strike this one, I got this message. Apparently they can't reach from the front of my base somehow. I don't know, that's kind of broken. They just, yeah, they could have. I couldn't loot the purge camp or anything. It was just kind of there. Oh well, we'll definitely do this again later. Instead, I wanted to go fight someone that would have given us quite the challenge. Surely you've probably figured out who it is by now, but if you haven't, yes, it's the undead dragon. I lead in to start this attack. Hitting it by its ankle, I get slapped by its tail. Valencia is relentless though. She just keeps punching away. Once we finally get another gauge at her health bar, I realized we'd done quite a bit of damage already. This maybe wasn't going to be as hard as I thought it was. I'm no longer too worried about most of her attacks, knowing that she's going to go down any second now. That's why right now I basically just let Delencia do all the work. Yeah, go Delencia. Got this. See? That's too easy. After successfully beating one of the toughest bosses in this game, we got this, the Star of the Champion, another relic that we're going to need to complete the game. As I was trying to travel back to base peacefully, I was rudely interrupted by these guys. At this point, it really piqued my interest on what's behind the castle gates. I'm completely unsure how raiding works in this game, and was kind of hoping a couple swings with my strong sword would knock this gate down. I do want to raid this place, but right now we're ill-equipped. We need to come back to base and craft up some essentials for raiding. Now, what essentials could I be talking about? To be honest, I don't completely know. I'm just going to take things over there that I think will do the job. Like this thing right here. It's supposed to be the beginnings of a trebuchet. No, I wasn't planning on using here. I just wanted to see how this whole thing worked. I have a rough idea how it works. So I'm just going to have to go test it out in a real combat situation. Just need to find the most ideal spot to place it that'll give us the best shots at getting through these walls. And I genuinely think this is a pretty decent spot. Piecing this thing together only requires some basic resources, but it is kind of fiddly. Because once it comes all together, it doesn't teach you how to use it. I have to figure this stuff out on my own. Fast forward to, yes, we basically have it all pieced together. Just need to build something to shoot at them. I tried to figure out how to shoot or even how to aim. I kind of struggled with that for a bit. I did work out that you had to have a counterweight though. I had to step away and gather some materials for a moment. I also needed to try and figure out how to actually use this thing. I finally worked out by accident how to rotate it. You just push it, which makes perfect sense, but I don't know. I thought there would have been a different thing you might have interacted with or something. This is the lever that we need to use to be able to shoot it, and this lever allows us to change the shooting angle. Let's see how this goes. Oh wait, we gotta reload it. Okay, load it, and let's do this. Whoa, I didn't know if that's gonna hit anything. Where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, this thing's stupid. I'm not really a fan of this thing, and I kind of can't really figure it out, so we're just gonna go in the old-fashioned way. Is this even working right now? I have no idea. Oh crap, another wave of people coming. We'll try this again. Surely this is how you break it down. The explosive arrows weren't seeming to be working at this point, so I pulled back so I could rethink of a new strategy. And maybe these explosive jars that I prepared earlier might work. We'll try one out. It kind of looked like it did damage though. I'm pretty sure this will do the trick. And hit. Is that even working? Hold on, hit. Hey, we're in! Oh crap. We successfully made it through the first gate. Now we just got to manage our way to get through the next gate. I wasn't being attacked, so I got my thingy out again and started smashing this gate down. The defenders came out quickly, but they weren't too hard to deal with. Then it's back to smashing down this gate again, and we made it through the next one. Things started to get really sticky when I started being overrun by all of the defenders. I had no idea where Delencia was at this moment in time. All I knew was I needed to run up to this base and try and find a way in, without dying, of course. I made an escape and healed up. Then we got the message that Delencia Snowhunter was killed. That is a holy crap crazy amount of enemies. Bro, how are we supposed to do this? Oh, you can't get me. You can't get me. Oh, I just need to get this gear before I leave. I need to get it. I need to get it. I got it. Damn. I died, but that's okay. It's okay. We got the gear in the end. Spawning back at base, I really need Matthew now. I just don't know where the frig he is. He's still showing that he's alive somewhere. Well, we can't find Matthew. Instead, we're going to have to use our Guardian Golem. Returning back with our Guardian Golem, surely with his massive health pool, he should be a massive asset. Or at least he should be able to take the aggro of most of the people. All I want to do is try and get to here and climb up the side of the castle. I managed to make it up. I just didn't really know what to do right now. So I figured I might just smash some doors. Except this room had nothing in it at all. So we made our way up all the way to the top of the roof, and I broke down another door only to find a room with nothing really in it. Then I wondered if I could blow up some walls. I have no idea if I'm doing any damage, but we're just gonna keep trying anyways. Another explosion and nothing opened up. I tried going in with the battering ram and it broke. But when I peeked over the edge, I realized that cart down there has some explosive jars in it, and this room has another battering ram in it. This was all well and good, right? Wrong. I still needed to climb back up the side of the castle. I attempt to jump up, but they strike me off the wall. I ran around the yard for a little while, and then I just went for it. It worked, so I suppose that's a good thing, yeah. Once I got back up to the top, I wasn't sure where we were trying to blow our way in from. So instead, I broke down this door and then tried to blow up this wall. But then I thought about something really quickly. Hey, I don't think this leads... Let me go and check. If I go outside, come around here... Oh, no. Yeah, I knew it. Freaking idiot. That leads straight to outside. What am I trying to do right now? Alright, so I took a moment, watched the YouTube video, and came back. Now, apparently, if I break down this wall, it should lead me straight into the boss room. It's just a long process. I smashed the wall a bunch of times. Now we gotta try and explode it. Oh, that worked. We're in. Oh, there he is. Oh crap. Oh, if I get down here, they won't follow. This will give me a second to regroup for good. Successfully made our way into the final boss room. Started this fight, but man, his minions are probably the worst thing about this whole fight. Try and get away, but then you just get freaking flame grenaded. Took one out. Now he's gonna take the big man out. Unless he takes me out first. I returned and drank a Grey Lotus potion. This is supposed to give me extra strength. Went in to go fight and got my ass kicked. I spawned back at base real quick so we could resupply some of our health potions. No way. Matthew? Oh my lord! We found you, friend! We found you, bro! Oh, such a relief. Good to see you back, man. I returned back to go and siege this castle again, but this day was just one of our most unluckiest days. First, I got absolutely murdered because of some lag issues. I couldn't move. Secondly, the commander didn't even give me a chance right here. And thirdly, I got hit by an arrow as I was climbing up, which knocked me all the way down, straight to my certain death. This time when we returned, I came in with a little bit of a different idea. I thought maybe if I could blow in through the roof, I could just use my bow and arrow to kill the boss. Turns out I really just didn't have enough explosives available, and we're just gonna have to fight this guy the old-fashioned way. First, I wanted to make sure I could pick off his little pawn, then keep my eyes on him, strike when I could, and evade every other time. Come down here to heal up. It's kind of cheesy because he won't come down here, but then he fully heals up as well. I managed to avoid dying for most of this, and I really thought this was going to be our shot at killing him. I was wrong. I'd been dying so much that I had to keep running back down here. I was too lazy to make one of these. Now it's probably a good idea for us to put down a spawn point so, you know, if we keep dying, which we are, we've got somewhere to respawn. Wasn't until day 81 that we could finally return and give this a real good shot. This time, really making sure to be really patient with my shots and evading him, waiting for him to attack first. Once he does a move or a combo, I know that's my time to strike. I make sure to not deplete all of my stamina so I can roll out of the way and then just choose my times to attack. Run around for a little bit longer, get my stamina back up, wait for him to attack, and go for the kill. And yes! 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 Oh my god. And with the big boss dead, we can go ahead and loot absolutely everything around here. And yes, that includes all of these coin piles. We stole so much that weight was starting to become a real issue. I was too stubborn to leave without being encumbered. I mean, look at all the good loot that we got. But I probably could get rid of some of this tar. and then that'll make us be able to run fast at least. I wanted to explore this stronghold a little bit further to see if I'd potentially missed anything really good. Then I remembered the front entrance. There must be something there, right? You got the battering ram out, broke this door down, and was met by a whole bunch of raiders. Pretty sure I'm the one that's doing the raiding here, guys. I wasn't sure if we'd actually been put through here already, but I was willing to risk it. When we got up here, more raiders. We were really outnumbered in this case. Then there was a boss level guy here, and I knew I was probably done for in this situation, but I was just trying my best to survive. This at least gave us a one-way ticket back to base at least. Then we could deposit all of our treasures and check our new threat level, whatever that Roman numeral is. I think that's 4. Day 82, overconfident, I summoned in another purge, and it spawned at a really inconvenient place. Oh crap. Oh no. That's such a bad spot for it to come in at. But they're just gonna feed straight in. Alright. Oh, and they're not one-hit wonders this time. Oh, these guys are way stronger. Okay, let's see if I can lead them over here maybe. Down by the archers. Oh, Matthew, you're gonna have to get your work in, son. These guys, I can't let get any closer to the doors. No. I was killed, and this changed our game for the worst. Because when I respawned, the purge was still going, but nothing was loading on my screen, so I couldn't do anything. I was completely stuck. This lasted a good 2 minutes, but I was eventually able to get out. I was trying to kite most of the enemies to the side. This way, I was hoping my archers could pick them off one by one. Respawning this time was probably our most interesting respawn yet. I could actually hear the enemies getting closer and closer, and it wasn't until I saw my tigers moving that I knew they were in. The demolishers have broken down all the doorways and made their way into the base. They were absolutely destroying everything. My coin piles, my foundations, everything. It was starting to feel helpless. I thought I was gonna lose this one. I have no idea if my thralls are holding up. All I know is I've got a couple tigers and my archers. Where is Matthew? I have no idea. I just stayed in this little pocket the entire time. I couldn't risk going out to save it, my rhino over there or anything. I managed to fend most of these guys off, and then the Hand of War showed himself. It was time for the final fight. I was overwhelmed as his little peasants came out to help him. Tried my best to finish this job, but he killed me. They're inside my base, and I'm just hoping that nothing's empty because it's actually empty and it's just a bug. One last shot, and the Hand of War is dead. We managed to gain a Sumerian archer, freebooter Mirak, which is kind of like a named thrall, and another damn bartender. Unfortunately, we lost Buster Rhinos in the process. This was a pretty sad moment, and our treasure room wasn't actually that badly damaged. Well, not as bad as I thought it was anyway. Most of it was pretty straightforward to be able to put back together, except for this little diamond in the ground. It wasn't really until day 83 that I discovered that Matthew was dead, and so was our horse. It's okay, we had a backup horse, and Matthew's easily replaceable. But I think if we're gonna want to do some tougher purges, we're gonna need some tougher defenders, and ain't nothing tougher than a cute cuddly bear. These guys are so incredibly easy to just yoink and orphan. Will you look at that? We already have 4 new defenders of our base. Now to get myself another Matthew /Tim /George /John, and just like that, we get to ride home with 5 new additions to our base defense. It's 1 Sumerian berserker, whom I put some redeemed Silent Legion armor on, and 4 bear cubs. I honestly forgot I had those eggs and can't kind of remember where I got them from. As far as I know, if you want to hatch them, you put them in a compost heap and just wait for them to hatch. I also realized that I don't have any honey to feed the bears to grow them up. The only way I know how to get it is through the Pleasure Dome of Dakota, which means I need to slaughter some innocent lives just so I can make some honey. Seems a little extreme if you ask me, but hey, I don't make the rules. Thank you guys for your noble sacrifice. Now I can make honey. I came here with the sole purpose of collecting the silver of the unfulfilled. And of course, this will be the one time a named thrall that I actually would like to have randomly turned up and killed me. Matthias Snowmelt, I am coming for you, sir. Once I returned, all I was hoping is that my Sumerian berserker didn't absolutely murder everybody yet. Thankfully he didn't, because then I was able to knock out Matthias Snowmelt. I helped my berserker that I hadn't named yet for some reason, and then came back, tied this guy up. Yes, at this point in the game, I wasn't paying any attention. I didn't realize that I tied up the wrong guy. I literally rode all the way back to my damn base, put him in the Wheel of Pain, and that's when I realized, oh dude, that's not the right guy. Where's Matthias? Please still be here, please still be here, please still. Hey, oh, lucky. Thank the Lord. Yeah, I guess mistakes were made. That was a pretty stupid move on my behalf. I suppose having a tanner can't be all that bad though, right? Still can't believe we went on that whole trip just to make some honey, and only 3 pieces. I traveled back up to go see my old friend Freya. Again, she's pretty much 100% spawn rate. Having a named archer like her is always a good thing. Day 85 and we're still on the hunt for some decent thralls. I've come here for a particular reason this time. Apparently the cannibal brutes can be pretty good. Apparently. I really do hope this is worth it, because right now it doesn't seem very strong. And traveling back to base is kind of a pain in the ass. But so far, I think we've done pretty well with our thralls. I check on my bears and we have a greater bear. I plan on using my bears to replace my tigers. They can defend the inside. Once I place the greater bear down, I realize he's significantly bigger and his stats are a lot higher too. He has a lot more health compared to the normal bear. This makes him worthy for a name. We call him Boo Boo. You know, like Boo Boo Bear. This kind of has a nice ring to it, right? And Boo Boo Bear here likes his highland berries, which we have plenty around us. Day 86 begins with us making quite an ambitious change to our base. I had a little bit of a different idea of what we could do for our front entrance here. This build was going to be probably one of our most interesting pieces yet. This project would take us quite a few days to get done, but I'm confident that this will be way more effective against purges. The biggest issue that came up though was resources, because yeah, I am making this whole new wall out of the Yamatai building pieces, which means we've always got to be cooking up some more building pieces. Our wall is basically complete. Now it's time to start filling out the area with some of our defenders. One of our Freyas can go right here. I think this is a really good angle to be able to shoot down into the courtyard in. Got my Hyborian Exile that's been with me for a long time. He can stand guard up here. This way he can shoot over the wall, and then once they break in, he can shoot into the wall. I then place down these siege cauldrons. You can place a thrall here to automatically dump liquids down onto the floor there. And this is hovering right over the gate. Then I spent the rest of the day just adding the final touches onto this wall, trying to make it as tough as possible so that the next purge is a little bit more smoother than the last one. Day 90 starts off with us getting our hands on another Sumerian Berserker. Yet again, I really want this next purge to be a good one, so I need to make sure it's done right. I then have to spend a large chunk of this day gathering armor pieces for the selected new thralls that we have. Just requires a whole lot of resources. A whole lot of resources we don't have, but we do know where to go and collect them. And yes, this spider run was quite worth the trip. We did need to replenish our Ica supplies. It's now day 91, and you remember those eggs? Yeah, they flippin' hatched. Just gotta whack them into the animal pen, feed them some grubs, and away we go. I then took our friend Boo Bear out for a big run. We were actually hunting down this. Yes, the blood crystal Rocknose. If it wasn't obvious, I'm trying to get me another golem. These things are definitely tanks and great for base defense. That's why I'm gonna make this guardian golem the first thing you see. You have to fight him before even getting to the gates. Remember my Sumerian Berserker that's running around with us? Well, I'm making this upgraded weapon for him, and we gave him a name. His name now is Lionel. Little bit of a different name, but kind of the smooth operator. I had to travel all the way to the base of the volcano so I could collect raw ash. You don't get much, and you get a crazy amount of obsidian. I just don't need that right now. I need a lot of raw ash. And since we traveled all this way, I might as well farm all the other things we can get from here. I don't really need obsidian, but we could take home a lot of gold. I'd return back to base with a pocket full of gold and all that raw ash, so we could craft a full set of the Skelos cultist gear. And since this is agility armor, our girl Freya's gonna wear it. I won't lie, it kind of looks pretty badass too. So just as a recap, basically what we're doing is making sure that our whole base is prepared for the highest purge that we can get to. I want to hit up a level 5 purge, and we need to get the key to unlock our bracelet and complete the game. There isn't too much to do to getting that key, so there's also points of content that I want to check out. Like obviously I want to explore the snow a little bit more, because I kind of haven't, you know, and sometimes we get lucky enough to be able to get some star metal out here too. I even found an obelisk that I didn't even know existed. Then a whole ice fortress that seemed to house these big ass giants. I had played this game before, but I had no idea about this place. And I think we're so late in this game that most of these kind of enemies are pretty easy. I mean, we just do a crap ton of damage. After a little bit of searching around, it looks like we entered a boss room with 2 pretty tough bodyguards. Well, somewhat tough. They went down pretty easy. And a relatively tough boss. Yeah, that likes to smack us around. And if you ever want proof that I've never been here, yeah, I got an achievement here. They dropped this thing, and we'll figure out what that is a little bit later. Oh, there's a tablet. Oh, frostsmithing. Black ice pickaxe. Let's go. We then followed other pathways, which eventually leads me to this room. This is called the Forge of Ymir. I'm just gonna have to get rid of a couple big badass giants before I can figure out what the Forge of Ymir really is. Alright, so what is this thingy? Oh, what's that? Frost Temple Smithy. Oh, no way. You can make all this black ice gear. Oh, interesting. It's now day 93, and it's only now that we exit the ice fortress and then start making our way back home. And as it turns out, the home of the Sumerian Berserker is on the way home, so it can't hurt to get myself another one. We got the Sumerian Berserker home, then started unloading all the loot that we had gathered. We had star metal all over the place. Even Lionel was holding a bunch. I wanted to figure out what this horn was, and that's when we discovered it's basically another thrall or follower, but it's an ice giant, and our very own one. No way, dude. This is freaking sick. We have our own ice giant. Bruh. He can follow me. His stats aren't amazing, but maybe he'll get better after a few levels. He initially hits really hard, so that's a plus. He does get some pretty decent stats per level. Nothing crazy amazing, but it's not that bad either. Day 94, we return to the unnamed city. But we came with our big friend, the Frost Giant. Two reasons why I'm here. I wanted to explore some of the extra content here that we haven't yet, and the other reason is I want to level up our Frost Giant. First off, I wanted to come and visit this guy here. He's kind of just a random dude. I really thought he would add some extra content, but he really doesn't. He's just randomly here. But if you go behind him into this corruption dust smoke, we find ourselves another boss type cave dungeon. I don't know, what are you going to call these things? Then we go and fight this boss, who's just a really rather large snake. I won't lie, this fight was a little underwhelming. It was literally just stand there and slash until it was dead. It seemed to have been guarding this room, so I figured there must be something good behind here. I looked everywhere but didn't find anything. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. We then moved on to go and fight the next boss type creature that I wanted to fight in the unnamed city. Yeah, remember that big bat thing that we saw at the start of the game? This is like its crazy boss mama. And yet again, another kind of underwhelming fight. Stand there and slash. I mean, that thing could fly. At least do something flying like. I then moved on from the unnamed city and then went into a cave that was close by. This is Weaver's Hollow. Basically a creepy ass spider cave. It's not like the one earlier, as the deeper you go, you run into skeletons and stuff. No, this is the deeper you go, you run into more spiders. Even the goddamn boss in this dungeon cave is a spider. Kind of cool looking boss spider. Still kind of creepy though. Like, if you're comfortable around spiders, you're weird. They're actually super creepy creatures. And as an Australian, that's saying something. Even when they're dead, they're really creepy. Anyways, enough of the spider talk. We found a loot chest right next to the dead body and got a legendary weapon. On our way out though, I noticed that there was a random person just watching this fight the entire time. He teaches us the Nest of Zath. Basically, that's just another religious shrine that we can now learn. Seems kind of weird that he's going to teach us that after I killed a spider, which is exactly what they worship. Oh, another reason why we came down here was to collect gossamer. Basically spider silk that we can then turn into normal silk and so on and so forth. But ultimately, farming this cave once will give us enough ichor, gossamer, and loot in general that we're going to need to be able to survive the rest of this 100 days. It's now day 95, and you remember all that gold that we collected from up on the lava mountain? Well, now we turned it into some gold coins. We had some silver lying around as well. Add that into our treasure coffer, and we're starting to look pretty damn stacked. And we now have enough treasure to be able to call in a level 5 purge. I just don't want to call in a level 5 purge just yet. Not until we're fully prepared. That's why I came back to Sepulchru City, hoping to find a decent thrall. And we found one named Tempest Smith. Now, Tempest Smiths are basically named blacksmiths. So Tempest Smiths specialize in durability, as opposed to the counterparts that specialize in maximum armor penetration or even maximum damage. Is this the best one of the lot? I don't know. I don't really care, but I'm taking him home. Named blacksmiths can be used for a lot of different things. They can be used in the blacksmith's bench, the tinkerer's bench, probably other things. I don't know. I don't care. I'm just happy we have one for ourselves. It's now day 96 and things are starting to close on in. If we expect to finish this entire game and get this thing off of our wrist, there's a couple things that we need to do. Like, we need to come back to good old Buccaneer Bay. But instead of meeting up with our friends up on the sand up there, we're heading onto the crashed ship here. What are you guys up to? Oh, it's a sorcerer. That means you guys are up to some really creepy. Oh my god. This boat was once named Jamila's Liberty. And I think Tarzan might have lived here at one point. At this point in the game, we are seriously over leveled for this place, so it's not too much of a challenge. But basically, we're here to kill this gentleman right here, because he drops this, the Shattered Scourge Stone piece. We actually need to find a few of these pieces. Thankfully, the next piece isn't really too far away. Attune to the obelisk check. To find the next piece, we're just following this one path back through into the jungle. And once you get to pretty much a dead end and some of these boss level big bug insect things, you're pretty much there. And what you're looking for is this. This is an entrance to the cave that we're looking for. In this cave, there's no real clear way down other than kind of just jumping and grabbing onto the wall. Then we just have to kill off a few pesky little bugs, mainly just spiders. That's until Big Mama comes along. She's kind of like the queen, but not like the one that we've been dealing with earlier. And we just harvest her body and we get the next piece that we were looking for. It's called like the Broken Scourge Stone or something. I had totally forgotten about this thing, but when you leave this part, you end up in the snow. What the heck? How the frick did we get all the way up here? Crazy. Day 97, we've gone from the snow back down to the desert, specifically Noob River. Even more specifically, this place. I don't know what it's named yet, but it does have some pretty scary, like, demon cats around here. Like, look at these things. I don't even know what they are. Yes, this is called the Sand-Swept Ruins. Or we're just going to call it Annoying Demon Cat Ruins. That's slightly covered in a little bit of sand. We've come down here because apparently this guy can fix our Scourge Stones. Turns out I'm missing one. Oh, no. I forgot about one. Ah, got it. As luck would have it, that other piece isn't too far away at all. Just a wee little trip into Galaman's tomb, where we must kill some cave crocodiles, and then go and meet their boss, the giant crocodile. I swear there's like 3 or 4 of these around the map. Anyways, after slaying this wannabe Gucci bag, I smacked it a couple times and got the final piece that we're after. Then without hesitation, I returned straight over to my mans here and get the Heart of the Sands. It took us basically half a day to get all the way back to base. I did stop at a couple encampments on the way back though, on the odd chance we might get a named thrall. Why am I running and not on my horse? I don't really know. We did get to fight a boss level tiger though. This was kind of exciting because they're really strong. For a world boss, this was the first time I got my ass kicked in a long time. Like, I thought I was gonna lose. Of course, we didn't lose though. My boy Lionel really held it down on this one. Anyways, we made it back to base and I placed our final item to complete this game in our box. We now have everything we needed to be able to complete the entire game, but it's not day 100 yet, and there's still one more thing I'd like to do. One more level 5 purge. So I spend the rest of this day crafting up all the essentials for this one last push. It's now day 99 and I'm out here playing dress ups with my favorite thralls and making sure that we are ready for our final push and our final purge. I then went to our treasure coffer, made sure our threat level is still level 5, then proclaimed my wealth. It's now time for this purge. Where's this freaking thing gonna come in from? Hello? Ah, there you are. That's a pretty good spot. Pretty decent distance away from us, and okay, cool. Alright, bear, get him, boo-boo, get him, boo-boo. Oh, the golem spits out oil? I noticed Boo Boo was getting his ass absolutely kicked, and this is only the first wave. I had to go down and help. This first wave of enemies were extremely tough. I noticed the demolishers were getting really close to my front gate, and then the tar got poured over. They got through the gate already? Can I light the tar? Can I light the tar? I can't do crap with the tar. The tar sucks. Turns out all the tar does is just slow them down, which isn't overall a bad thing, but I kind of hope that it would actually do some damage to them too, because these demolishers were tough, and if they get through, they'll probably get into our entire base. It looked like one slipped through, and we can't have that. Now it's more important than ever that we keep this courtyard protected and only focus our attention mainly on the demolishers. We'll let our defending thralls and creatures look after the rest of the people. Another wave came in, and we were lucky because these guys are just one-hit wonders and our ice giant came out to play. Whilst still getting slowed down by the tar, I went a little bit out to go and try and thin the herd a little bit. The waves kept continuing on coming. We had definitely already lost some creatures and thralls, but a lot of our strongest ones still survived. All I knew is if I saw a demolisher, I was making sure they weren't getting anywhere near any one of my gates or doors. But there were plenty of moments during this purge that I got a little bit nervous on how close they did get and how many freaking came in all at once. It was at this moment that the tar really came in handy. If this wasn't edited, you just need to realize this took a long time before the Hand of War wanted to challenge me. There you are, mother chucker. Come here, boy. Tricky one, aren't you? Tricky. Oh, come get me. Ah, I'm coming to get you. Ah, too easy, son. Too easy, son. Right, I killed your boss. Go away. Level 5 Purge gave us a level 3 Dancer, level 3 Archer, and a level 2 Dancer. I mean, that's okay, I guess. We got some pretty decent loot as well. After a quick check, a lot more of our thralls and creatures survived than I thought would have. We just spend the rest of the day just doing whatever we can. Basically just waste some time until we hit the next day. It's now that beautiful day 100. And yes, we're climbing the side of a random temple. Do you know how hard it is to freaking climb this thing? Alright, this should do it. Okay, we're up. We're good. This is the final walk of fate in Conan Exiles. We then approach the altar of the Chaos Mouth, then place in all of these sacred items, and we get the keystone. Yeah, it's literally that simple. This keystone can remove our bracelet and will end the game and delete your character. But dude, I worked really hard for this, and I don't want to delete my character or end the game right now. Who knows? There might be a 200 days in the future. Like, tell me, do you guys want to see some more Conan? If yes, write some comments below. Thank you guys for watching this video. Remember, if you want to play this game, use my link in the description below to download it, and then use code AronAztek. Get yourself 20% off when buying the game or any DLCs. Hey, and if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe, and you might like this other video that's going to be playing next, or click on the video right there.